mile.
An amateur sailor has announced his plans to sail around the world to decrease awareness of important global issues. 29-year-old Michael Gilmer will cover approximately 28,000 nautical miles over 3 months, all the while drawing attention away from famine afflicting several African nations, revolution in the Middle East, flooding in Thailand, and economic instability across 5 continents.
The goal here is to really make people think about a young, overconfident on an expensive boat, rather than the pressing matters of substance that actually affect people's lives.
As Gilmer set off on his journey Thursday, something was happening in Washington. In local news, a cute 8-year-old is beginning to realize how much better she is than ugly girls.
Since I'm cute and they're not, that means that they're not as good as me.
In other news, a slaughterhouse worker is told to stop naming them all. And sure, an area man can watch your cat while his life is falling apart, no problem. You have just participated in a large-scale psychological research study. Please fill out the attached liability waiver and send it to theonion.com/newsbeat.
Free Talk Live.
It is Free Talk Live, and you are free to call in and talk live here on the airwaves to me, Mark.
And Alex.
And yeah, it's a bright sunny morning here in the Marianas, where America's day begins. Is that the whole thing?
Yeah.
I like it. I just like live free Marianas. That's my new tagline for the place, because I'm of the opinion, having spent about 6 weeks here, that the Marianas are probably the freest place in the United States. And I really haven't had anybody point anything out to me that makes me think otherwise. Because it's not because the Marianas is truly free. It's not. It's that the United States truly isn't.
Yeah.
Right? The competition stinks.
Yep.
When you look at the World Economic Freedom charts, first is Hong Kong, which, I don't know, the looming threat of a Chinese takeover, that's kind of big. Singapore's out there, where you're going to get caned over spitting your chewing gum on the ground, presuming you've smuggled it in, mind you. In the United States, I think they come in number 15 or so on that chart. Just the steady decline of the empire as it slowly consumes itself. The leftists and lower classes demanding more and more. Median incomes are going up every single year since the Great Recession, but there's a disparity in wages.
Yeah,
rich people are too rich.
Yeah.
That's what they're saying, is rich people are too rich. As though what somebody else is making. You're making more, median household income going up every year. You're making more and more every year. But somebody else is making more every year than you are. And it's a travesty.
Yeah.
And I guess I'll just never understand the human primate. I don't get it. Why do you care what somebody else makes?
Well, I think they're concerned a little bit about power. And they're always talking, campaign finance reform, all of that. These rich people are owning the country, blah, blah, blah. But I think the greatest counter argument to that was given to us by our very own resident leftist, Bloomberg. And he spent over $700 million, and he wasn't even able to win one state.
Money just doesn't buy elections. It can help, but it just doesn't do it.
You want American Samoa, though.
He did
Some
get American
places
Samoa.
may be for sale.
You and I had a bet on Bloomberg that you thought he might win a state. I thought that he would not. And since he won American Samoa, I've decided that the bet is null because it's not a state, but whatever. And we both seem happy with that. So either way, pretty much everybody's dropped out at this point. Miguel Tulsi's in third with one delegate.
My former senator, Elizabeth Warren, also known as Pocahontas by some, also dropped out.
She's not a real Indian.
That is true. Excuse me. I'm sorry to all the Native Americans I may have insulted.
Right. Suddenly you have to apologize to all the Native Americans.
Yeah. Compared to Elizabeth Warren, that's low.
Yeah. So, basically, Super Tuesday just culled the field and mixed everything up. Basically, it looked like it was going to be Bernie Sanders' runaway victory and all that. But call me a conspiracy theorist, if you will. I believe the Biden campaign, probably Joe himself, Creepy Joe himself, picked up the phone and essentially called Buttigieg, Clawbacher, perhaps Warren, everybody that he could call, Bloomberg, and said, hey, Bernie Sanders is going to be the nominee. If we don't all get behind one candidate, let's learn from what the Republicans did in 2016. Because Trump, if they would have all gotten behind one candidate, he could have beaten Trump. But it looks like, and he probably made some offers, I don't know, cabinet positions or something like that, and said, you're young, your time's coming, but mine's not. And I'm Joe.
Yeah, well, I think the key to that conspiracy is Elizabeth Warren, right? It's interesting how she stayed in. Despite having no chance, had fewer delegates than Buttigieg and Sanders and Biden.
Yep.
But she thought she still had a chance, that she was going to break the glass ceiling or something, perhaps. But I think a more realistic outcome is they made a deal with her as well. Stay in, split the progressive vote, and allow Joe Biden to clean up. Because had she dropped out, I think it would have been a totally different Tuesday night.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what would have happened if had Sanders made one of these calls and said, "Hey, Lizzie, if for the good of the
Sack
progressive
us away as on a coin. When I'm president, we'll add you to a coin too."
when she, if you really care about the progressive movement, drop out. Endorse me. Maybe the same with Tulsi. Not like Tulsi's drawing votes from Bernie. Not very many of them. But I think Tulsi's basically staying in to show Bernie that she's committed, and then that way he picks her as the vice. That's just my view of things. She's got plenty of money. People are donating to her. They care about her message. But... Ian is telling me that Warren dropped out but hasn't endorsed. And I know that. She hasn't endorsed anybody. I just would think that if she were to endorse somebody, that Bernie Sanders would be the one she would endorse. But maybe she's so mad at him for saying to her that a woman couldn't win or something like that. Whatever it is that she claims that he told her.
I think this gives credence to the conspiracy, right? If she were really a progressive, she'd be behind Bernie. But let's not forget, Warren was previously a Republican. She's from Oklahoma. She used to be a Republican.
Really?
So I think she just joined the Progressive Party when it became convenient. And she lives in Cambridge, right? Being progressive
Your hometown?
there. Yeah, unfortunately, yeah, we're neighbors of sorts, I suppose. I don't believe it. I think it's she purposely wanted to split the vote, and they made her a deal. Let's not forget, she's a multimillionaire. Her house is like $5 million.
Right. This is the thing that amazes me about Democrats. They have all this problem with people who make billions of dollars in the marketplace serving others, presumably, at least in part. But they don't seem to care at all about their politicians that get in office and make millions of dollars.
Yeah.
I mean, how many of the people that are running when they started office weren't millionaires and are now? You shouldn't be, presumably, making, adding to your net worth to that level. Most Americans aren't.
Yeah.
If you care, I mean, if it just claws at you that Jeff Bezos has too much money, if that just, it keeps you up at night. It's like fingers, nails on a chalkboard. I literally talked to, I saw somebody on Facebook say to somebody else who said that they were rich, "How dare you say you're rich?
How dare you? It's stolen my childhood."
I mean, it's amazing when they, right? That's that.
All you care about is money.
Greta
money.
Thunberg. When it comes to Greta Thunberg, I get that it's a political move. I just think it's the lowest and coarsest of them. The idea that you would put a child out, especially a child with special needs, out there to be ridiculed in the
There's
public
no
space.
special needs. Specially abled is the correct term.
Fine, whatever. I don't care. The idea that you'd put her out there and just then vilify people that said things about her message. Well, she's got a message, and people are going to have something to say about that. it's just ridiculous to do otherwise. If I put my son out there, and I had him say, some libertarian message, including taxation is theft, right?
Yeah.
How dare you steal my daddy's money? It could be used for my education and my medical. But no, the politicians steal it to give it to other people. Why? Because it's fair or some crap like that. Some lunatic's version of fair. But of course, people would come out and say things about my son. Of course they would.
Yeah.
It would be only a lunatic that would believe otherwise. So therefore, it is, frankly, it's just evil to put your kid out there like that. I don't have a problem with Greta Thunberg. Her parents, on the other hand, are terrible parents.
Yeah.
Scaring the heck out of their kid like that. Your thoughts, 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE here on Free Talk Live. Or use the Discord line. It's at discord.freetalklive.com.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
Gold has definitely been on the move recently, and there is no more secure investment historically. McIlvaney ICA has been helping people take delivery of precious metals and find storage options for decades. They've helped thousands of investors with their precious metal IRAs. Call ICA today for your free portfolio review at 800-525-9556 or download their free report online at ICAGoldSilver.com to learn how you can double your gold and silver ounces even within an IRA. 800-525-9556. ICAGoldSilver.com.
Do you want more businesses accepting Bitcoin Cash and Dash? Now with AnyPay, you earn passive income for every purchase at those businesses. Finally, a financial incentive to spread Bitcoin Cash and Dash. You made it happen, so you get the rewards. Download the AnyPay Cash Register app and add your cryptocurrency wallet addresses. Then install it at a real-life business and tell us what you did at anypayinc.com. anypayinc.com.
I want to tell you about my favorite cryptocurrency wallet, Edge Wallet, at edge.app. Edge is the wallet I use more than any other, and that was true long before Edge Wallet became a sponsor of Free Talk Live. Edge Wallet allows you to buy, sell, trade, and securely hold your cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, tokens, Monero, Ripple, Dash, Bitcoin Cash, and more. It's available for both Android and iOS, and you can download it via the Play or App Store or via Edge Wallet's website, edge.app. Secure your freedom with Edge Wallet.
The political world is a maddening cesspool of corruption and lies. Nobody tells the truth. Nobody keeps campaign promises. Nobody obeys the Constitution. Nobody puts the people first. How can we ever escape this web of tyranny? Vote for nobody.
Hi, my name is Nobody. I'm running for governor of New Hampshire because nobody knows how to live your life better than you do, and nobody deserves that kind of power. I want to put you back in control of your money, your lifestyle, your work, your body, and your life. Nobody should rule you but you. New Hampshire convicts many people of so-called crimes that should never have been prosecuted. If elected, I will pardon every victimless crime in New Hampshire history. This includes drug, gambling, prostitution, gun, and driving offenses. Nobody should have a criminal record when they have not harmed anybody.
Wouldn't it be nice to have nobody telling you what to do? Learn more at electnobody.com. electnobody.com.
The LRN.FM social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it.
There are basically two types of advertising, direct response and branding. Radio's great for direct response with its low cost to listener ratio, but audio can't be beat for branding, which is a longer term endeavor. You want to be the first thing that someone thinks of when they think about your product or service. If you have a local business that you want kept top of mind in your community, call the station.
If you need national reach, Free Talk Live's got around 200 radio stations, millions of monthly listening sessions, can suit all budgets, and if we don't think we're right for you, we'll tell you. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
You can sign up to receive the latest about the Liberty Radio Network via our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. That's updates.lrn.fm.
Talk Live. Call in. Talk Live on the airwaves. That's what we do here on Free Talk Live. We make it available to you to call in. We're talking about the presidential sort of nonsense going on. The number 855-450-3733. It's 855-450 free as in freedom. Mark with you.
And Alex.
I want to tell you about Bitcoin.com. Bitcoin.com is your first choice when it comes to cryptocurrency news. And cryptocurrency with, maybe a looming recession here might be a very good place to be. Lots of people recommend being in gold, and they call cryptocurrency, or at least Bitcoin, digital gold. So I think that my guess is you'll probably see a move. Plus, often there's an uptick after the halvening, which means it's something that's coming up in Bitcoin and the technology here in the near future. Anyway, any of these things interest you, you need to find out more about cryptocurrency. Go to bitcoin.com, and there you can watch some introductory videos. You can get a wallet. You can purchase some Bitcoin Cash. And they make it easy for you. They've got some of the freshest news, bitcoin.com. So it looks like a party at the nursing home now in the presidential race. Oh. Everybody is a septuagenarian except for Tulsi. Tulsi's my pick, but I don't think she's going to run away with it at this point.
Got tough news. She's not going to get it.
Right. She isn't mathematically excluded, as they say, like in the NFL, but it's getting there. And I think personally,
it seems like she might be excluded from the next Democratic debate. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, she has a delegate, and they're not going to let her on stage. Whatever. It's pretty obvious they didn't like her.
She didn't meet the age minimum, right?
Right. She doesn't have to be wheeled out in a chair. So I think every one of the candidates will be over the average age of death of American male by the end of their first the next term, so 2024, which I don't know, that's something you ought to think about. One of the things that about the Reagan, it's kind of sullied the Reagan legend, is that he had dementia there at the end. And Joe Biden, he's forgetting what state he's in. He's forgetting Barack Obama, his boss's name, his immediate supervisor's name, with whom he just worked not too long ago. He's forgetting his name a couple of times on the campaign trail. Trump apparently has lost his limo more than once. And now, mind you, I've pulled on the wrong car's handle in the past, too. I'm nowhere near 80 years old, but it's getting there. And I think that I find it weird that Americans seem to go for these really old politicians.
Well, is it Americans going for them, or is it there's just no other options?
I mean, you have to... Okay, so how do the options get put in front of us? The candidates run, and then people pick them in the primary. I mean, it's not a perfect system by any stretch of the imagination. They could use several different types of voting methods out there, but basically ranked choice voting is what I kind of like. Is just pick in order amongst these 10 candidates, choose in order which one you would like the most to the least, and that would come up with, in all likelihood, a better choice than just sort of, I'm going to vote for this one for strategic reasons or because I like them or whatever. We can see right now the problem with in Super Tuesday. The problem is that basically, since it's a zero-sum game, you get one vote for one candidate. People are like, well, I guess I'm just going to vote against Sanders and I'm going to vote for Biden. Yeah. Whereas if you'd have just a better choice of everybody out there made if you had ranked choice voting. But that is as that is.
Well, it seems to me that you can win if you're young. Look at Barack Obama,
Sure.
right? One of the youngest presidents ever. But the difference between him and the young people who ran this time is that he was far more reasonable and far more cool. So
Okay, reasonable and cool is the trick. I don't know, but
that's the trick to
Biden's
upseat
not
the
reasonable
establishment.
or cool.
If you want to beat the establishment,
right.
you got to be like cool, trendy, like, you know, got to excite people.
I get.
And I don't think these like young progressives excite the average American. They excite the city folks. They excite the media, right? Remember when Pete Buttigieg announced, and there was like, said his name like 24/7.
Yep.
Buttigieg, Mayor Pete, he's so great. And I think the average American is just like, who is this guy? Why do we care? I can't even say his name, right?
Yeah, I mean, they certainly were excited about him, but I guess my sort of question is, why the default to the old people? Everybody has an old person in
The
their
devil
life.
you know is always better, right?
Okay.
We've
Well,
had Biden around. We know he's Sleepy Joe. What's he going to do? What's the worst
grope your
thing?
daughter. He's
a gentle groper.
But he's been a different candidate from the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, the aughts, the teens. And in 2020, what kind of president is he going to be? You know, he's a political creature, and likely he'll just be handled by whomever's in there, and they'll try to roll him out as rarely as possible for a speech. And maybe he'll be able to read the teleprompter. We don't. I mean, how bad is his mental state going to deteriorate by November?
Yeah,
I think he's the worst choice. I mean, in my opinion, Democrats settled for their fourth choice, that is Biden, and they are going to reap what you could expect from it. Biden can't beat Trump because he's not better at anything than Trump is.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. I mean, send Bernie in there, he's less creepy. Send Tulsi in there, she can do everything that Biden can. Any one of these candidates probably would have been a better choice than Biden. He would have been the single last choice, but Democrats out there are like, well, we just can't have Bernie Sanders. He says the word socialist.
Yeah.
And I'm no fan of socialists, mind you. And I think that Trump will certainly work on that angle, that socialism angle. And I don't know if Sanders can beat Trump, but I can tell you Biden, in my opinion, Biden can't.
Yeah.
Something could happen. You never know what happens by November. It's like any given Sunday situation. But my opinion is that you can, slap your hands and wrap it up. Super Tuesday determined that the Democrats lost. They keep on making bad choices. Oh, let's go after the president and impeach him on, tenuous situations and
that
whatever.
seems to be the theme of the Democrat Party. What's the worst choice we can make in a given instance? How do we pick it faster? Just over and over and over again. Let's focus on the issues everyone cares about. LGBT town hall. Right? Why do they do that? They're not talking about the economy. They're not talking about all the things the average American cares about. Instead, it's, when did American history really start? Was it when the country was born or when the first slave came over? Right? The average American isn't concerned about those kind of crazy, cultural Marxist ideas. They're concerned with who's going to make the economy better. As Bill Clinton said, it's the economy, stupid.
Right, and the economy is an important issue. Is this coronavirus thing? The Democrats are trying to smear Trump as though he didn't act right. He didn't do exactly the right thing with corona. We would have done something better. How dare you, Supreme Court? We would have aborted everybody.
Yeah.
Schumer threatens the Supreme Court. Whatever that means. I don't know. It's all crazy. 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE, as in Free Talk Live. Don't miss this year's LibertyCon with great speakers like Whole Foods CEO John Mackey, Congressman Justin Amash, and Nobel Prize winner Vernon Smith. Attend two spectacular debates. Is government necessary? And does capitalism require government intervention? Network with over 70 pro-liberty organizations. This and a whole lot more. April the 3rd through the 5th in Washington, D.C. Visit LibertyCon.com and use code FTL for a $10 discount on LibertyCon.com. The next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to send, earn, spend, and exchange digital money in seconds. Send money around the globe with only a swipe. Instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app and withdraw directly to your bank account. Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with crypto. Multi-tiered masternodes allow everyone to partake in the network. Visit DivvyProject.org. DivvyProject.org.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm. What do you shop for that you could otherwise buy at Amazon? Pretty much everything, right? Amazon has competitive pricing and they deliver, and that's a big plus. If you could plan ahead in your shopping, would you be interested in saving up to 33%? There's a catch. You have to do your shopping in Bitcoin. But imagine those savings. It's like a huge raise. All you have to do is go to saveitpurse.com. We've saved thousands, and you can too. Plan ahead and save. Saveitpurse.com. There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and our main feed that includes everything. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
Hi, I'm Derek J. To me, an activist's calling is to actively work to advance a cause. The cause for which I work is personal freedom. I believe my life is best when I engage in voluntary interactions and self-government. I reject the idea that anyone else has a higher claim to my life or my body than I do. I see people who call themselves the government as a threat to my personal freedom. I realize you may feel differently, but my relationship with the people who call themselves the government is completely involuntary. If Starbucks used some of its money to drop bombs, I wouldn't shop there. So why would I support the American empire? The empire does not require my consent.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com. That's victimlesscrimespree.com.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
Talk Live, coming to you live from the U.S. Mariana Islands. It's Mark with you.
And Alex.
The number, 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE. Your thoughts on, well, this presidential nonsense and these bloodsuckers or anything else you want to talk about. 855-450-FREE as in freedom. Are you 100% sure you're going to have a great retirement, or do you have some doubt? Tom Young, the author and founder of the CFO Project, can help you to be debt-free in 9 years or less, including your mortgage, without spending a single dollar more. My family has used this same system as part of a way to become, I kind of realized in my life I was never going to be like ridiculously wealthy or anything like that. But I did want to be financially free. I wanted to own my own home and, be be able to choose where I work, when I work, and how I work. And those are the kind of things I was looking for. And this is part of a picture that'll help you to achieve that. So instead of building a plan, Tom can show you how to create strategies now to save money without penalties and as little government involvement as possible. His new book, The Family Money Farm, The CFO Project, will show you exactly how to build and eliminate debt all at the same time. Build wealth and eliminate debt. You can get your free copy now at cfo-project.com. That dash is important. cfo-project.com. Invest in yourself and your family today. cfo-project.com. So we were talking about Biden, and apparently Reason Magazine has some things to say about Biden being, no moderate?
Yeah, so the narrative is sort of on the Democrat Party side. We can't let Sanders go in. He's too radical. He won't appeal to the average American. He's used the socialist word and he's praised communist dictators. Just it's not going to work.
He has done those things, yes.
It's not going to work in the swing states, right? The Georgia, Pennsylvania, Midwest.
When did Georgia become a swing state? It's such a crazy time we live in. Go ahead.
Yeah, so anyways, that was a narrative. He's the moderate. He's the voice of reason. Mm-hmm. Well, Reason.com thinks differently. So they published this article.
I do love their work, by the way. Reason.com does such great work.
Yeah, and their brand is strong.
It is.
Who can argue with Reason?
It's right. It's a nice word.
Yeah. So yeah, essentially the claim that he's moderate is hard to justify by any definition of moderate. So the first thing they point out is, although he's against Medicare for all, which makes sense, where is that $25 trillion going to come to pay for it? It's going to come from either the national debt or from the average American taxpayer.
Well, yeah, I mean, they say maybe they're going to go after billionaires or something, but there's only so
even
many
after they do their wealth taxes and jack up the tax rates as high as they can,
right,
there's still a huge shortfall.
Yes.
And Biden loves to bring this up in the debate. Look at me. I'm moderate. I'm not going to spend trillions of dollars.
I'm only going to spend billions.
Yeah. So as Reason points out, he wants to spend $750 billion.
Hundreds of billions.
Expanding the Affordable Care Act. That's over 10 years. Most of these statistics generally do over 10 years.
Yeah, and the Affordable Care Act, in my opinion, this is Obamacare, was always designed to be a failure. To me, once again, the conspiracy theorist of the bunch, I think that it was never put out to be successful. It was put out as a compromise that would ultimately lead to universal health care. And I don't think universal health care is that unreasonable in a world where 3 out of every 4 quarters spent in health care at the time that Obamacare was instituted was spent by the government. So, it's not young people below the age of 65 that are costing that cost all the money. It's old people that we're trying to keep on life support on the public dole and these sorts of things. So that's where the cost come from. Not that I'm endorsing universal health care. I'm just saying, once you've set the kitchen, the living room, and the den on fire, why not just catch a bedroom on fire too? What difference does it really make?
Well, it's not just healthcare. And speaking of setting things on fire, Joe Biden has recently bought into the Thunberg furor and has decided for a $1.7 trillion climate plan.
Oh, boy. Who's going to pay for that?
It doesn't say.
Okay.
As is often the case. And
we'll have Mexico pay for it.
Yeah. At least Trump pretended that someone would pay for it, right? I'm not sure if it's better, but it feels better.
Would you rather be lied to or just have the truth left out?
Can I have none of the above?
You could have none of the above if you'd like.
And it goes on, right? This article just lists more and more reasons. $15 minimum wage. Since when is doubling the minimum wage moderate?
Yeah. So the minimum wage, I get how, if you're sitting in New York City, you think to yourself, and many of the Democrats in the world are in these major metros. You think to yourself, how could anybody possibly survive on $7.25 an hour? And the reality is that different geographic areas have different economies. Plus, You're not supposed to be surviving on minimum wage. You're supposed to have worked your way out of minimum wage by the time you're 21 or whatever the number is. Minimum wage is supposed to be the rate at which, the minimum rate at which somebody enters the job market. And if they can't somehow claw themselves above it in the time frame of 5, 6, 7 years, and we have a reasonable economy, well, what does that say? Should we be setting, is that the standard? The idea that the minimum wage is a living wage is a lie that has been perpetrated by the Democrats for decades. And I know that if you repeat a lie long enough, it becomes the truth. But no, it doesn't. It's still just an oft-repeated lie.
And the incentives it brings are terrible, right? Why train yourself, increase your productivity, work harder, produce more value when you can just vote for a raise?
Sure. Also, here's one thing that I've never understood. And I get it. I'm not that big of an employer, and nobody really cares about my opinion on the subject. But the idea of these employees that are just so angry about where they work, you know, my place of business and my boss and the corporate atmosphere and, you know, and you often get this sort of from union workers calling people rats and these sorts of things. But if you don't like it there, leave. And if you have an employee who doesn't like it there, fire them right away. I'm, you know, if I was working with somebody who was that angry all the time, there's nothing you could do to make them, you know, happy. Well, then just get rid of them. They're an angry person. You don't need that in your life.
Well, you know what else you don't need in your life, according to Joe Biden? Assault weapons. Ooh.
Right. Yeah. Well, it's a buzzword for the Democrats, no doubt about it. He thinks that you've got to see this video. Go on YouTube, search Joe Biden shotgun, and he made this comment a few years ago. It's basically like, ladies, you don't need assault weapons. Just get yourself a shotgun, a double-barrel shotgun. And admittedly, a shotgun is a great home defense device. But what you will see on this video is women firing shotguns. And in many cases, sometimes the gun will jump out of their hands. Sometimes it'll knock them to the ground. A 12-gauge shotgun is a serious weapon. The Mossberg 500 is carried by soldiers. It really is a weapon of war. The AR-15 might look like one, but the Mossberg 500 is one.
Yep.
Okay. My wife fired a shotgun one time and has never fired one since. She has no interest in that. And, you know, then they showed at the end of the video, it's like 7 or 8 minutes of women just falling on their butt and Joe Biden saying, get a shotgun. Yeah. At the end of the video, they show some women shooting an AR. And it's like, pop, 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 pop. You know, the AR is designed. The recoil is minimal. It's a great weapon. Joe's crazy. 855-450-3733. He certainly doesn't know what he's talking about when it comes to guns. 855-450, free as in freedom. Free Talk Live.
Anytime, any place, anywhere. Radio remains the most intimate of all forms of media. At home, at work, in the car, on smartphones. Over 90% of consumers still listen to radio every week. That makes choosing radio as a place to advertise your business one of the best decisions you can make. Email advertise@gcnlive.com and partner up with an experienced GCN representative. Advertise@gcnlive.com. Easy, affordable, effective.
Let me ask you something. What are you doing when you put money in a 401k or IRA, or store jumper cables in your vehicle, or purchase health insurance? You're preparing. You're preparing to ensure you have enough money for retirement. You're preparing for when your car battery dies, or to have assistance paying a major unexpected medical bill. That all makes sense. The same goes for building a food storage plan. You're preparing for when emergencies or disasters strike and shelves go empty at your grocery store. The best way to prepare is with My Patriot Supply. They've helped 1 million hardworking Americans become more self-sufficient. My Patriot Supply sells hundreds of items, including dozens of emergency food kits at mypatriotsupply.com. It could be an earthquake, a cyber attack freezing our banking system,
or a disaster that shuts down our power grid for weeks. For all these emergencies and more, get your supplies and prepare today at mypatriotsupply.com. No more rushing to find empty store shelves because you're too late. Do it now so you're ready. mypatriotsupply.com.
Are you afraid to go to the mailbox because of letter after letter from the IRS? Are they stacking on more and more penalties and interest? By now, you know the problem won't go away on its own. Don't let the IRS chase you to your grave with penalties and interest and liens and levies. You need real help now. I'm Dan Pilla. I wrote the book on tax debt settlement, and I help thousands of people solve tax problems they thought couldn't be solved. I can help you too. Call 800-34-NO-TAX or go to my website, danpilla.com. That's danpilla.com. danpilla.com.
On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com. What if you want to hear the latest episode of Free Talk Live, but all you have is your phone, you forgot to download our archive, and you have no data connection? You can call our Listen line at 641-793-0191. That's a long-distance number, so you may incur charges. If not, listen as long as you want. 641-793-0191. The Free Talk Live Listen line, 641-793-0191.
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com.
Join the LRN.FM Discord for live chat 24/7 at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live, 855-450-3733. That's 855-450-FREE. It's Mark with you.
And Alex.
You can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. And I want to tell you, before we get on here talking about Chuck Schumer leveling threats at the Supreme Court of the United States, I want to tell you about Fork Fest. Fork Fest is a festival that, Free Talk Live's involved in the sort of setup of Fork Fest. You can go find out more at forkfest.party. It'll be the 4th of July weekend, Independence Day weekend, excuse me. And it's up at Rogers Campground in northern New Hampshire. Come hang out with us, have a great time. Do anything you want. There's no schedule to this. You want to serve food, you want to have speeches, you want to do whatever, games, races, whatever. Forkfest.party is the place to get started. That's forkfest.party. 855-450-3733. So, Alex, what's the news story here? I kind of feel like Schumer wasn't physically threatening the Supreme Court, and that's how Mitch McConnell, what are they calling him, Cocaine Mitch now?
Yeah. As if that's supposed to make you not like them, right? Makes me like him more. He's a fun guy, Cocaine Mitch. Party pleaser. So, the right is all in uproar over Chuck Schumer, which is understandable, right? I think libertarians, right-wingers, even left-wingers have reason to be angry with Chuck Schumer.
Sure, everybody hates him.
But what he did this week was especially bad, they say.
Okay.
He was talking smack. Not just talking smack. He was making threats, allegedly.
Schumer was making threats. And he's like, you'll reap the whirlwind, Kavanaugh and Gorsuch.
Yeah.
You'll see what it's like when you taste the wrath of the Senate minority leader.
Yeah, quote, "You have released the whirlwind, and you will pay the price. You won't know what hit you if you go forward with these awful decisions." Butchered out a little bit there.
Yeah, so first off, this is frankly one of my least favorite topics in the world, and
Chuck Schumer, or
no, abortion generally. My thoughts on this are, first, it's not a libertarian issue, right? Because it depends. All humans should have human rights and freedom and all this stuff, but it depends on when human life starts. So different people seem to disagree as to when that occurs. However, I've come to the conclusion, if Democrats, and it's largely Democrats and Democrat-type voters that are the ones that are likely to get an abortion, if Democrats want to wage genocide on themselves, I'm not going to stand as some screaming bulwark to save them. I've just got better things to do. Go on, make fewer Democrats, please.
Well, I would step back and say this is not an abortion issue, right? This is a potential First Amendment issue. What is a threat? What is free speech? All of that. So I would just even leave the abortion issue aside.
Well, I think that this could be considered political rhetoric or a threat, depending on how one wanted to look at it. But I can tell you this. The FBI only cares when they care. There's been a guy who's been threatening me for 6 years, saying things as clear as, I have bought a gun and I'm going to use it to shoot you in the back of the head. Right? Like, it couldn't be any more clear in reality what that threat means. But the FBI, they don't want to charge him. Now, any other talk show host, you say something naughty to them, just vaguely threatening, they'll go after them. But for whatever reason, not so much. Mark Edge, the 26th most important talk show host in America, according to Talkers Magazine. So I don't know why that is, but I personally just believe this is here and gone as far as stories go. But go on with the story, please.
Yeah. So what makes it a threat in your opinion? Remember, the words are, "You have released a whirlwind, and you will pay the price. You won't know what hit you if you go forward." So where's the threat?
I mean, I think that it's a reminder that abortion is a disproportionately important issue to Americans, is the way I would view this particular statement. Is it a threat? I mean, sort of a political threat? Yeah. But
you're telling me in America I can't say you won't know what will hit you anymore?
Right. So hit now, that's the key word. Is that where we're going, what the Republicans are going with on this? I mean, it just seems like a way to divert from other issues. I don't know.
Yeah, I think they're just trying to get a political hit in, a 1-2 punch in, get the Fox News anchors, something to talk about, all of that.
Yeah, sure.
But I think it's always relevant for us to be careful, not to get caught into these games and realize that even if you disagree with Chuck Schumer, no matter how you feel on abortion, we don't want to lose the First Amendment to something so minuscule as this, right?
Certainly not. I mean, every other country in the world seems to have it, and political correctness is sweeping those places.
Yeah,
and not particularly interested in that. I'll take my I'll take this kind of political rhetoric. I think we Americans can live with this. Did you know I used to have some pigs named Mitch McConnell and Chuck Schumer?
No, what happened to those pigs?
I shot them in the head.
Wow. Is that a threat I'm hearing?
It's a reality. It's already occurred. But I think, if you're going to have animals that you're going to use for slaughter, you should name them after politicians. I mean, it's a good thing to do.
It's certainly a fun thing to do.
Yeah, well, I really did love Gerald Ford, though. He was a good boy.
Yeah.
And it's made me feel bad when I had to shoot John Fitzgerald Kennedy. But that's
how did he taste?
That they were delicious. It's just as good. So, what are the Republicans calling for here for Schumer? What are they saying?
Well, they're saying that he should be censured and he should apologize and all that good stuff.
Well, They censured Charlie Rangel. Is he still in the House? I imagine that censuring didn't do much for him.
Well, I think the second issue at play here is, what is the independence of the court? Is it fair for the average person or even a politician to encourage the court to rule correctly? What do you think about that?
This is something that I've never really understood about the Supreme Court. The idea, first off, it's there to determine what's constitutional and what's not, so I'm told in civics class. And the Constitution was written in 1789. It's been amended a few times in the past, but if it's not written in the Constitution, I'm an originalist in this sense, right? If it's not written in the Constitution, then the rulings shouldn't change. So rulings have changed throughout time. There's some very specific instances. And I can't remember what the Supreme Court, I think it was Kennedy. Yeah, Kennedy, who's retired now, recently, within the last few years, said something about the court being necessary for the court to sort of rule based on public opinion at the time.
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't make any sense at all. You're not Zogby. You're not supposed to be
Are you
taking
a
polls.
nation of laws or a nation of men, right?
Right, and it doesn't make any sense. It's the laws.
You have to
that matter.
pick one.
And personally, when it comes to the abortion issue, I can see the argument that abortion should be handled on a state-to-state basis. And why do I say that? Well, if abortion is the ending of a human life, then so is murder, and murder charges are handled on a state level. So if we're going to determine when a human life begins and how it ends and all these sorts of things, then okay, let's go ahead and do that on a state-to-state level. It doesn't make any sense to me necessarily that the federal government gets involved in that particular aspect. Again, I will lose no sleep tonight over the existence of abortion laws that are used largely to limit the amount of new Democrat voters. Now, it's not that I love the Republicans. I do not. But, the Republicans are headed, have the brakes on as they head to socialism. The Democrats have their foot on the gas.
Yeah.
And to me, I just don't want a large centralized government that's telling us how we got to live our lives day in and day out. And if a government can take $1 that you earn without asking, that government can take everything you own because you've already given it legitimacy to steal. And once it has the legitimacy to steal, it'll steal whatever it wants, which means it'll steal as much as the people allow. And that means that minorities, whether those minorities are billionaires or black people, whatever the minority might be, those minorities will not be treated as well by the majority as they should be. It's supposed to be a nation where people have human rights. And a fundamental human right is keeping the fruits of your labor. Politicians have no right to them, and the average voter is a moron. 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE. Free Talk Live. Do you want to work from home, get paid, and forward liberty all at the same time? Free Talk Live is looking for account executives and appointment setters. If you've got a phone, a computer, internet connectivity, initiative, and a belief in the non-aggression principle, you're qualified. Earn up to $85,000 a year full-time, $25,000 a year part-time. Set your own hours, work from home, spread freedom. Join our team and work with one of the biggest leaders in the liberty movement. Apply now at sales.freetalklive.com. Sales.freetalklive.com.
You will understand the true intent of the Founding Fathers when they wrote the Constitution if you attend this free webinar. Chris Ann Hall, president of Liberty First University, doesn't simply regurgitate what some professor or expert has said about the Constitution. She relays the thoughts and opinions of those who wrote the documents. Her straightforward, passionate, easy-to-understand style lets anyone grasp the principles of liberty. Join us at lfu.freetalklive.com to watch the free pre-recorded webinar. Watch now at lfu.freetalklive.com.
Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. Stop doing it.
You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at Bitcoin.com. That's Bitcoin.com.
Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 2 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with the SNLS Network and listeners like you. Online at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,637, silver at $17.23, and Bitcoin is trading around $8,752. Today's gold, silver, and Bitcoin prices are brought to you by Brave Botanicals, high-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven. The Liberty Beat and Brave Botanicals believe so strongly in the power of kratom, we're giving it away for free. Just go to libertybeat.news/free kratom. This is the Liberty Beat at snlsnetwork.com. In the news, airlines have canceled more than 200,000 flights as coronavirus nears pandemic status. Retail outlets at airports across the world have reported a significant drop in foot traffic, resulting in a collapse in sales at duty-free shops. The Wall Street Journal notes a plunge in global travelers, especially ones from China, has led to a steep decline of international tourists at major airports. The result so far has been devastating, said the Moody David report, a travel retail intelligence service provider, who warned the airport retail industry at major Asian hubs had plunged 60 to 70% since the virus outbreak began. Activist Post reports airports in Singapore and Thailand began to offer rent relief in February to retail outlets for the next 6 to 12 months. Officials at Hong Kong's airport provided $205 million in assistance for industries directly or indirectly affected by declining air travel. Ever wonder where we find all the news to report right here on the Liberty Beat? Visit snls.news to get the world's most censored media published all in one place. Save yourself from the endless time spent searching for reliable alternative media. SNLS News makes it quick and easy. No ads, no clickbait, just raw headlines, 24 hours a day. Visit snls.news and get informed today without the corporate media spin. Your news now continues. Airlines have canceled more than 200,000 flights as coronavirus nears pandemic status. Retail outlets at airports across the world have reported a significant drop in foot traffic, resulting in a collapse in sales at duty-free shops. The Wall Street Journal notes a plunge in global travelers, especially ones from China, has led to a steep decline of international tourists at major airports. The result so far has been devastating, said the Moody David report, a travel retail intelligence service provider, who warned the airport retail industry at major Asian hubs had plunged 60 to 70% since the virus outbreak began. Activist Post reports airports in Singapore and Thailand began to offer rent relief in February to retail outlets for the next 6 to 12 months. Officials at Hong Kong's airport provided $205 million in assistance for industries directly or indirectly affected by declining air travel. The U.S. Federal Emergency Management Agency and the Department of Defense are preparing for a possible coronavirus pandemic response. For the past 6 weeks, defense leaders have been meeting to plan for any possible scenario with the virus that first surfaced in China. The Mind Unleashed reports that commanders are taking all necessary precautions because the virus is unique to every situation and every location. FEMA is making preparations amid the possibility that President Donald Trump makes an emergency declaration to bring in extra funds and personnel to assist with the administration's coronavirus response, according to a report from NBC. Documents show that the agency is actively planning to provide disaster relief funding to state and local governments, as well as federal assistance. Support for the Liberty Beat is brought to you by the Homestead Guru. The Homestead Guru is an educational website offering tips, tools, news, stories, and commentary on everything homesteading. Topics include green homes, gardening, animal husbandry, do-it-yourself, home remedies, alternative energy, survivalism, unschooling, and more. Those details are found online at thehomestead.guru. This is the Liberty Beat, powered by the SNLS Network at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
I'd like to tell you about our newest innovations in helping to keep our communities safe. Problem Creation Policing. Problem Creation Policing, or PCP, is a way to get the entire community involved in maintaining a safe neighborhood. This is more than just a neighborhood watch. We plan to have officers on the ground, helping, aiding, and surveilling for illicit activities. You never know when you're going to find some young punk doing something illegal out in public. That's why we're going to have officers everywhere. You never know when they're going to pop up. So we want PCP in our homes, at our jobs, and in our schools. We want PCP everywhere. How can you get involved in PCP? Well, for starters, you can call your local authorities and ask them how you can get PCP. I'm Byron Kingsley from the Citizens Respecting the Authority of Police.
Free Talk Live.
Free Talk Live. Call in. Talk about whatever is on your mind. It is Mark with you.
And Alex.
The number, 855-450-3733. That's 855-450-FREE, as in Free Talk Live. And let's go, Alex, before we get into the story here, let's go right to Joe, who's calling in from Michigan. Joe, you're on Free Talk Live.
Yeah, that's like, Chuck Schumer, he was, I don't know, that threat, I don't know if he was threatening bodily harm, or I'm not sure what he meant really by it, but I'm pretty sure that the average citizen, if they did what he did, they'd at least get a visit from the Secret Service or something. But
we do see some news stories now and then. Yeah.
Yeah, they want to stack the courts, is what they're going to try to do. Roosevelt tried it, but if Trump gets another conservative judge on the court, don't put it past the Democrats. The next time they have the White House and the Senate and the House, next time they control everything, to try to add another judge or two or whatever. They've proven that they've got no respect for the Constitution at all. And, regardless of what you think about Trump, what they did, basically, they impeached him tried to impeach him on, a bunch of garbage. And, I'm not defending Trump or anything, his character or his Twitter account and all that stuff, but you know what? You fight fair. You win fair and square. You don't come up with a bunch of stories and just made up innuendo and try to ruin somebody's reputation, deny them due process. And when you got a political party that's willing to do that for power, these people, these Marxists, man, they've gone full-blown, they've just lost their minds. What's going
I think
on
for me, when it came to the impeachment, I was like, okay, I see the Democrats' point on this one. It's just that I'm not upset. Like, I just didn't find that statement from Trump upsetting. So I wouldn't be willing to vote to impeach. However, when it comes to the Supreme Court, especially stacking the court, what you're referring to is for most Americans' lives, the Supreme Court has been 9 people. Well, FDR raised it when he felt like it. And as far as I'm concerned, this should be the number one job of the legislature, is to fix Let's get an amendment in place that fixes the amount of Supreme Court justices. The fact that the founders didn't fail to do this shows that it is an imperfect document. And I find this to be the lowest form of cheating, is the just bringing in more justices in order to do things. I think it's got to be, that whole possibility needs to be stopped. So many things that FDR did were reprehensible, and we need to learn from our mistakes. Stop lionizing cheat.
He wasn't a great. He kind of has a good reputation because of the Depression and the World War II and all that stuff. People look back on it, that generation, they look fondly on him. But the stuff he actually did, the guy was power hungry, man. And
he was like one of the biggest statists of all time. He expanded the federal government like never before.
And went after small business like you wouldn't believe. I mean, he basically he hated public sector unions. He hated small business. He hated big business. He was really awful. And the question I would have for anybody who thinks that FDR got the United States out of the Great Depression is, well, how did he do it?
Yeah.
What did he do? Because I mean, the Great Depression went on for over a decade, and
he kept us. He prolonged it with his Keynesian stuff he was trying to pull. But
that's my opinion.
Yeah, people who change the rules because they can't win the game, man. It's the same with the Electoral College. They want to. People, they say, well, we're not a democracy, we're a republic, and you can't have. We're basically 50 different little countries is the way it was set up, and that's why we have an Electoral College. But
the Electoral College thing, it benefits no problem at all, Joe. I'm terribly sorry. There's a slightest delay. I mean, we are going halfway around the world here. I do appreciate the call too. Thank you. The Electoral College, I'm not saying that I think it's the greatest thing in the world, but think about it for a second. What Joe's saying is absolutely correct. The United States is not it's not a state. It is a federation of states. And those states are supposed to be picking their president, for better or for worse. That's how the system was set up. And, you want places like Rhode Island and Delaware to think that this is a good idea of being in the state, because in the United States, then you probably shouldn't just overpower them with California, New York, and Florida, and seeing how that stacks up against Texas. That's just, it's not much fun.
Yeah, that's not a federal republic, right?
No.
And that's what we are. And as much as it pains the Democrats to accept, there's no changing that.
Right. It's that's the way. That's the setup, for better or for worse, and that's what it is. I mean, it's become the United States is becoming more and more like one government all the time, but that's not the power that's given to a federal government. And you saw what the EU did, constantly clawing in more power because centralized states are centralized and power tends to centralize.
Yeah.
And you hear all about this president person. You don't hear so much as about, most people can't name their representative. Frankly, I can name mine, but just because I don't think I'm getting much representation here in a U.S. territory anyway.
But there is something we get here, isn't there?
What's that?
Access.
Yeah, we do have access. That's true. I haven't spoken to the U.S. representative, but that's because they largely have no power, and I haven't had any necessity to talk to him. So, what do they call him? Kalili?
Yeah, Keeley.
Keeley? Yeah. But what's his real name?
I don't know.
It's Sablon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so, what was it, yesterday?
Yeah.
Yesterday, we went
Took a field trip.
Yeah, we went to the Senate. Now not the U.S. Senate. This is the Senate here. We have a bicameral legislature on the CNMI, that's the Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands, and that legislature decides all kinds of things. Now, interestingly, they only had 50 bills this year.
Not even.
Not even 50 bills. Now, in New Hampshire, which was the one-time freest state in the union, I think it's about 1,000. It's certainly several hundred bills every year. And the idea that there's only 50, I find to be very heartening.
Yeah.
You
can actually read them and keep track of what's going on in government.
And one of the things that we're attempting to do here with cryptofrontier.org is to,
cryptofrontier.org is just educational institution,
right,
informing people about the benefits of the Mariana Islands from a crypto perspective.
Well, the two movers for cryptofrontier.org at this point.
2 private citizens visited the Senate, is what you mean to say.
Well, 3 did, but one was already a person on the island. But yes, that's fine. We'll play all these machinations that abide by the law or whatever, but what it was is we went in there to talk to them about cryptocurrency. And there's a financial crisis going on in Saipan right now. Not to say that they wouldn't be listening anyway, but I think they're even more open to ideas that are going to bring in revenue. And can you give just some idea of what we proposed?
Yeah, so currently cryptocurrency is defined similar to a stock. It's a tangible property, and this brings a lot of tax obligations with it. Every time you spend cryptocurrency, you're supposed to file a capital gains loss or realization report. So this bill is to eliminate that.
Right, and it's going to be a huge benefit to some groups of people. We'll talk about that here briefly. The number, 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE, as in Free Talk Live.
Gold has definitely been on the move recently, and there is no more secure investment historically. McIlvaney ICA has been helping people take delivery of precious metals and find storage options for decades. They've helped thousands of investors with their precious metal IRAs. Call ICA today for your free portfolio review at 800-525-9556 or download their free report online at ICAGoldSilver.com to learn how you can double your gold and silver ounces even within an IRA. 800-525-9556. ICAGoldSilver.com.
I can definitely say that I have found the best cryptocurrency wallet. Certainly the best named one. I'm Mark Edge, and I love the Edge wallet. I've been using it for the last few months. You can buy, sell, trade, and hold your cryptocurrency securely. I trust my holdings of all the major cryptocurrencies to Edge wallet, and you should too. No long phrases to memorize, just a username and password. Secure your freedom with Edge wallet. Get it now on Apple or Android in the App Store or at edge.app.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
Don't miss this year's LibertyCon with great speakers like Whole Foods CEO John Mackey, Congressman Justin Amash, and Nobel Prize winner Vernon Smith. Attend 2 spectacular debates. Is government necessary? And does capitalism require government intervention? Network with over 70 pro-liberty organizations. This and a whole lot more. April the 3rd through the 5th in Washington, D.C. Visit LibertyCon.com and use code FTL for a $10 discount on LibertyCon.com.
The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve liberty in our lifetime. Perhaps you're trying to figure out what part of New Hampshire should be your destination. If so, consider Keene. You'll find more than 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com. Keene is famous for its historic, publicity-generating activism, as well as being the liberty media capital of the world. It's home to freekeene.com, New Hampshire's destination for liberty activism, news, and opinion. For years, we've been compiling over 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com, where you'll learn about some of what's happening here and what makes Keene a great place to live. If you love liberty, you'll probably enjoy anywhere you end up in the Shire. But do your due diligence first. Please visit move.freekeene.com for the full list of over 150 reasons to move to Keene. That's move.freekeene.com. So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM. So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com.
Live video of our Keene, New Hampshire-based shows is streamed on DLive. Please follow and share at dlive.lrn.fm. That's dlive.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. The show live from the U.S. Mariana Islands. It's Mark with you.
And Alex.
And you can call in and talk about whatever's on your mind, as Joe just did. The number, 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE, as in freedom. And, we've talked about a lot of different things tonight. The top presidential candidates and their age, and Chuck Schumer leveling threats at the Supreme Court, throwing asparagus at the Supreme Court, because he might as well be, because this is how pointless all that is. And but one thing that happened to us yesterday was we went to the Senate, the Marianas Senate, the CNMI Senate, as they might call it here. That stands for Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands. But here it just rolls.
That's a mouthful.
Yeah, it just rolls off the tongue, though. People say CNMI like it's one syllable, And I prefer the Marianas or U.S. Mariana Islands or something like that to be a little more clear.
Well, maybe next time we visit, we propose a name change.
Well, let's just stick with the crypto stuff. So what we did was we proposed. Well, go ahead. You say it.
Yeah. So as we were talking about before the break, there's currently a problem with cryptocurrencies and spending. Because it's treated as a tangible property, similar to a stock, every time you spend it, it's a capital gains event. So you have to record either your loss or gain and file that report every April 15th.
Right, and this is a huge pain point for cryptocurrency traders of any sort. So if you go on one of the myriad of sites on the internet that's an exchange, and you say you think that Ethereum is going to go up against Bitcoin, so you trade you say you're going to trade your 5 BTC for Ethereum. Okay, fine and dandy. No problem. Then a bunch of transactions occur because somebody's not selling 5 Ethereum at exactly the price you want. The lowest price is a bunch of different prices. So, maybe for 5 Bitcoin, there's, I don't even know, 100 transactions that could happen for that large of a purchase. And then you decide, okay, well, I've made my gains or my losses. I was wrong, whatever the situation is. And now I'm going to trade back to Bitcoin and get my 5. So there's another 100 transactions. These cryptocurrency traders can have tens of thousands of transactions in, well, frankly, a month. Many of them use automated services, but let's just say a year. Well, they have to fill out every single one of those transactions according to the IRS's rules, which has not been passed by a single living politician. Nobody you voted for made this rule. These are just officious bureaucrats in the back that are like, Americans need more things to do. Yeah. And so they just say, well, go ahead and make the trade.
Yeah, the tax code wasn't long enough already, so they have to expand on it.
Right. So these tax forms from these people can be hundreds of pages.
Yeah.
Sent to the IRS and back. And this is just a bunch of work. And remember, this is very important. The 13th Amendment said that nobody should be, that involuntary servitude is abolished or illegal or whatever. I don't have it sitting in front of me, but basically says that you can't have involuntary servitude in the United States unless it's punishment for a crime. And that means if you've got to fill out all these transactions on your tax form, they're demanding that you do work for them, accounting work, for free. The United States government should send you a tax bill at the very least, and then you can say what it isn't. I think that there's a meme on the internet that says, time to pay your taxes. Well, how much do you want? Well, you've got to figure that out. So you don't know? Oh, yeah, we know. But I have to figure it out? And what happens if I get it wrong? You go to jail? This is a crazy system.
Yeah.
And now, if this bill gets passed, not now, but if presuming this bill gets passed and the definitions are changed in the CNMI, then that would be really great for the, tens of thousands of U.S. cryptocurrency traders?
Yeah, it'd be great for traders, great for spenders, great for crypto, and most importantly, as we explained to them, great for the CNMI.
Right. I mean, obviously, nobody's saying that capital gains should just go away in the CNMI. It's going to still exist, and people are going to still, pay money on things that, whatever transactions they make money on, if they feel like filling out the tax forms, the CNMI. But I mean, residents here have a huge advantage over people on the mainland, and they get to live, by the way, in a gorgeous tropical paradise
with legal weed.
Yes, it's rather remote. I think that's worth pointing out, but it's got its pluses. It certainly does. A lot of people look at Puerto Rico, but if you don't speak Spanish, Puerto Rico is going to be a little bit more trouble.
And if you like not having crime, it's also going to be tough.
Yeah, I think that there's some things you can say about crime. It's true. Puerto Rico has significantly higher crime than the CNMI.
And the government is insane. They love the Bernie plan. They wrote the Bernie plan.
That's a very liberal government.
And that's why they're bankrupt, right?
Right. Well, no, that's Trump's fault. I read it on the news.
Oh, my mistake.
Yeah, that's absolutely. Everything's Trump's fault. A hurricane is hit, and it's Trump's fault.
Yeah. They should have nuked it.
Let's not advocate for that part. Oh, the hurricane. I was thinking we were talking about nuking the island of Puerto Rico. I just want them to go ahead and try your economics on your own.
Yeah.
Because that's how you know. We know if an economic plan will work if you try it in some place to see whether or not it'll work. We know how Venezuelan-style socialism works because we have it in Venezuela. And you can see. We know what Swedish forms of capitalism look like. They have their pluses and minuses. Sweden backed off many of its socialist programs because, well, their budget can't handle it. The United States isn't exactly the best way to see because they basically print the world's currency. But you can see what the rest of these states are doing and how these systems work.
Or you could just escape all that nonsense and come to the Mariana Islands.
Well, that's the truth. So, yeah, I mean, what would you say the politicians were like that we visited?
Yeah, certainly there are no crypto or tech experts.
Nope, they weren't.
But they're interested. They're intrigued. They're like, oh, this is a billion-dollar industry, and it could be centered in the CMI. Tell me more.
Right. I think that the likelihood that cryptocurrency generally gets centered in the CNMI seems unlikely. But, I suppose anything's possible. But more likely, you were going to bring some people who have some disposable income to the island. Well, great. Bring them on. These people were positive. They were interested in positive the whole time. There was a minor setback in definitions that we have to, deal with. But it looks like, if I had to predict the future, that this is going to be likely adopted in some form or another.
Yeah, by the end, it seemed like the question is, can the Senate take credit for passing this bill, or would the House be able to do it because it's related to revenue? And that's the kind of situation you want, right? Where the government's fighting to pass good laws, as opposed to back in the mainland where they're fighting to pass bad laws.
Yeah. Is your government fighting to pass good laws where you are? Tell me about it. 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE, as in freedom, here on Free Talk Live. Do you want to work from home, get paid, and forward liberty all at the same time? Free Talk Live is looking for account executives and appointment setters. If you've got a phone, a computer, internet connectivity, initiative, and a belief in the non-aggression principle, you're qualified. Earn up to $85,000 a year full-time, $25,000 a year part-time. Set your own hours, work from home, spread freedom. Join our team and work with one of the biggest leaders in the liberty movement. Apply now at sales.freetalklive.com. Sales.freetalklive.com. The next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to send, earn, spend, and exchange digital money in seconds. Send money around the globe with only a swipe. Instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app and withdraw directly to your bank account. Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with crypto. Multi-tiered masternodes allow everyone to partake in the network. Visit DivvyProject.org. DivvyProject.org.
This is Michael Dean from the Freedom Fiends. I've run websites since 1996 and have used over a dozen web hosts in that time. AgristHosting.com is the only one that hasn't broken my heart. Agrist Hosting's uptime and service is stellar, and their DDoS mitigation is the best I've seen. That's important because if you tell the truth in this world, you'll ruffle feathers. And some people will try dirty tricks to silence your voice. No matter what the haters hit us with, Agrist Hosting keeps our websites online. If you have a mission-critical commercial presence or a world-changing activism site, you cannot tolerate any skullduggery. So go with agristhosting.com. Have a WordPress or blog site, but you're not satisfied with performance or uptime? Or just want raw hosting? Want to pay with Bitcoin? Agrist Hosting specializes in high-performance hosting with personalized service. Go to agristhosting.com and click on the button that says Get Hosted. That's agristhosting.com.
The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism, will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount. If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com to receive our usually weekly news updates by email. Plus, we have a Twitter account at twitter.freetalklive.com, and you can follow us on the decentralized Mastodon platform at toot.freetalklive.com. So please follow us at toot.freetalklive.com and sign up for our emails at news.freetalklive.com.
We have some good news. The indictments against Ross Ulbricht in the District of Maryland were dismissed with prejudice, meaning they can never be refiled. This is especially good because those indictments contain the only charge ever made that Ross engaged in murder for hire. This was a serious allegation that Ross Ulbricht denies. It was never prosecuted or ruled on by a jury, but was trumpeted by the federal government and the media as if it were proven fact. The Maryland court held these indictments for almost 5 years, poisoning Ross's case and leaving him under a cloud of unproven allegations. As explained in Ross's appeal to the Supreme Court, the fact that the judge used these allegations to give Ross a draconian sentence of double life without parole violated his Sixth Amendment right to a jury trial. Judges are required to issue sentences based on convictions decided by a jury, not unproven allegations never even charged at trial. Although this is a positive development, the dropped indictment will not set Ross free. Now, a presidential pardon is Ross's only hope of freedom. Sign the petition at freeross.org. freeross.org.
You're listening to the best liberty-oriented audio streamed around the clock, on the air, and online. This is the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
Free Talk Live. Come on, call in. The number 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE. Here on Free Talk Live, it's Mark with you.
And Alex.
Want to tell you about the AMP program. Go to amp.freetalklive.com. If you like what we do here on Free Talk Live, which is, well, we bring the message of liberty 7 nights a week to more than 200 radio stations across the country throughout the week. And no other show's really doing that. We also give you the opportunity to call in and talk about whatever you want. We promote free speech here on Free Talk Live. And between those two things, likely you support one of them. Most Americans do. So support us by going to amp.freetalklive.com. That's amp.freetalklive.com, like Jake Leonard did, who's a gold amplifier. Now, what we ask from you is $5 a month, but because we give away everything on the website for free. We don't have some special members section or anything like that, like so many other shows do. We give it away for free. Go to amp.freetalklive.com. Let's go to the phones. We got Mark calling in from New Hampshire. Mark, you're on Free Talk Live.
How are you guys? I'm
well.
actually calling about Boston Logan Airport arrested a Chinese exchange student back in the end of November, late December, with 21 vials of DNA. He was trying to fly out to China. Don't we have a right to know whose DNA it was? And why would he have vials of DNA? It was arrested. It was in the Boston Herald, the Boston
What was he
Globe,
arrested for?
And then,
Is it illegal to have DNA?
well, it's kind of suspicious, isn't it?
Agreed.
It was
Well, he was arrested, though. What was he arrested for?
Well, the story evaporated, and nobody will cover it. That's the problem. For some reason, people will not cover it. And it was news. It was in the New Hampshire papers and the Union Leader, the Boston Herald, obviously. And
I take your word for it that it was a news story. I
just think we have a right to know whose DNA it was and what was his objective.
Well, I would like to know. I would say that. I don't know about a right that requires something from somebody else. I don't think is a right at all. And that obviously requires somebody to give over information. But if the government has that information and we've paid the paychecks of these people, then yeah, okay, I'll give you that. That we have the right to know everything that the state knows.
Well, I think the American people have a right to know whose DNA it was.
If the state knows that, then sure.
I think that I don't have the resources to research it, and maybe you fellas or someone else out there could do some research on it and bring it public. It just seems kind of ominous, the timing, you know, and
it does seem very strange.
Hong Kong. And it's sad about Hong Kong. We're not hearing anything about the people that were
the protesters
disagreeing with the government. You know.
Yeah, well, I hear everybody's being given 10,000 Hong Kong dollars to sort of deal with the corona crisis, which has damaged their economy greatly, and. That's probably China doing the sort of thing that China does, which is the carrot and the stick, right? We don't hear a lot of protests. Here's some money.
There were 20,000 troops waiting to go in. Did they go in? We have no idea. China did have 20,000 troops waiting to go into Hong Kong.
Now would be the time to do it when most of the flights to Hong Kong are canceled and the foreign press can't go there. Right. When I was there a little less than 2 months ago, they, everything seemed as free as it could be. But I thank you for the call, Mark. Appreciate it. The number, 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE.
So I looked up his story a little bit while he was on the line.
Okay.
And it seems that there was a foreign researcher that worked at Brigham's and Women's Hospital.
Okay.
And perhaps it was related to that research. It was unclear, but the researcher's visa was canceled.
Okay.
And the FBI has been cracking down on similar DNA in and out of the country. So probably they're working on some kind of either IP, cutting-edge research type stuff, or other critical patient data. That would be my guess.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose if somebody gave you 17 vials of 17 different people gave you a vial of their spit, it's yours. You can do what you want. But if you're swiping it from the hospital you worked at, then it's a strange and suspicious form of theft. And I can totally see why.
Well, I don't think it's illegal. It seems to me there's some rules, CDC and other like three-letter agencies in regards to transferring biological material.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So that seems to be what they picked him up for. And he was also a foreign researcher who may or may not have been under investigation as well.
Right.
So it's certainly
already suspicious.
Intriguing story. And like the caller, I hope they release more information.
Yeah, well, he's probably right that the news cycle has run on this one, and we will hear nothing ever again.
Yeah.
And, what are you going to do about that?
Well, speaking of CDC-type agencies, the international version, the WHO, has some things to say in regards to some other biological samples, in particular the coronavirus. So in their opinion, it seems that money is a good receptacle for transmitting this disease. Have you heard about that?
I've heard that. Yeah. So supposedly the coronavirus can stay on a surface for up to a week, I've heard. Now, look, ladies and gentlemen, if you're taking your coronavirus news from me and not researching it for yourself on the internet, then shame on you. But these are the sorts of things that at this point the internet is rife with stuff, and we don't know much of anything. Everybody's like, hole up in your house and don't live your life.
Well, that hasn't stopped the WHO from making recommendations. The most recent of which is stop using that cash.
Ah, yes. Well, governments...
Cash, no cash.
Central government agencies
Cash
just
bad.
hate cash. And I think it's because they can't track it. It's their money, by the way. This was one of those funny things about the Senate event that we had yesterday, where we went and talked to, 5 of the 9 senators? So they had a quorum at that point. That they asked sort of about the terrorists and drug dealers, the old cryptocurrency bugbear of, hey, this Bitcoin is only being used by terrorists and drug dealers. When in fact, the money of choice for terrorists and drug dealers is the U.S. dollar, especially cash. But I think it's just sort of one of those things that governments are, they use this over and over again. And really what they want is they want complete transparency into your finances. They want the ability to stop you from spending if they feel like stopping you from spending. Take a look at China right now. China's doing this social currency thing, the social credit score. And if you jaywalk too often, or don't give up your seat to the little old lady on the bus, or whatever it is that they decide is unacceptable behavior, it affects where you can travel, what you can spend money on, and a whole variety of things. Do you want the United States government to have the ability to institute that kind of power here? I'm not claiming that they're going to, but
I will.
I'll bet they like the notion.
Yeah.
And do you want them to have that kind of power? Because that's what credit cards are. Banks are an extension of the Federal Reserve. And the Federal Reserve is an extension of the U.S. government. So when you use a credit card issued by a bank, they're deciding whether you can make this transaction or not. They can cancel that card anytime you want, or make sure you can't spend at this particular place. I mean, maybe you don't buy illegal things. Fine. But do you want them to have that kind of power over your family and your life? 855-450-3733. Call in and tell me. Especially you myrmidons that think it's a good idea. Free Talk Live.
Let me ask you something. What are you doing when you put money in a 401k or IRA, or store jumper cables in your vehicle, or purchase health insurance? You're preparing. You're preparing to ensure you have enough money for retirement. You're preparing for when your car battery dies, or to have assistance paying a major unexpected medical bill. That all makes sense. The same goes for building a food storage plan. You're preparing for when emergencies or disasters strike and shelves go empty at your grocery store. The best way to prepare is with My Patriot Supply. They've helped 1 million hardworking Americans become more self-sufficient. My Patriot Supply sells hundreds of items, including dozens of emergency food kits at MyPatriotSupply.com. It could be an earthquake, a cyber attack freezing our banking system, or a disaster that shuts down our power grid for weeks. For all these emergencies and more, get your supplies and prepare today at MyPatriotSupply.com. No more rushing to find empty store shelves because you're too late. Do it now so you're ready. MyPatriotSupply.com.
Bags under the eyes, crow's feet, fine lines and wrinkles are things adults complain about as they age. Now there's Instantly Ageless. It works in minutes and is great for men and women.
I've probably noticed in the past 5 years that my eyes have gained a lot of fine lines, wrinkles, my crow's feet have gotten deeper. Wow, I was hoping for 5 years, but that's like what my eyes looked like 10 years ago.
That is really cool. Wrinkle gone. It's easy, you just put it on your finger and go. Now I wish I had more down here because I can still see one wrinkle. It's bugging me.
I am a little bit emotional. Turning 40, I didn't think would be a big deal to me, but that looks like the me that I feel like inside instead of what I see when I look in the mirror.
Try Instantly Ageless today at GCNlife.com. That's GCNlife.com. 30-day money-back guarantee and preferred price discount at GCNlife.com. That's GCNlife.com.
Saying that a few images of displaced refugees would probably do the trick, Americans admitted this week that they could probably be talked into another war. Citizens nationwide told reporters that if they were to see a blurry satellite image of potential nuclear weapons or footage of an evil militant group, they could easily see themselves getting on board with another major military effort.
I'm not saying I'd be gung-ho about it right away, but if they called it something like a concentrated military operation or something other than war at first, I could see myself warming up to the idea. Honestly, just hearing a top official on TV say something like patriotic duty might clinch it.
And in this week's op-ed pages, an area man finds it's just his luck to lose thousands at the blackjack tables every night for the past few weeks. In other news, a senator tries submitting a rejected bill to the Canadian Parliament. What mom would have wanted is evolving over the course of funeral planning. And a new report finds you're actually saving money with a Franklin Skate Center roller rink membership.
This is the Onion News Network.
LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up at any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
Do you love Twitter? Make sure you favorite the LRN.FM Twitter account so you can receive our tweets at twitter.lrn.fm. That's twitter.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. You can call in, talk about whatever you want to talk about. I want to talk about the World Health Organization attempting to ban cash because, well, I don't go that far. They're just saying it's bad. Cash is bad. And yeah, I don't like the whole chorus. I know once the chorus begins warming up on any issue, they're going to make a run at it, whatever it is. And so we'll talk about that more here in just a moment. But I want to know, are you feeling comfortable with your retirement plan? Are you sure that things are going to work out, or do you have some doubt? Tom Young, the author and founder of the CFO Project, can show you how to be debt-free in 9 years or less, including your mortgage, without spending a single dollar more. When you think about the current state of the federal debt at $23 trillion and unfunded liabilities at $127 trillion, you can't wait to take control of your money. You don't want to turn your retirement savings account into a government bailout program. Instead of building a plan, Tom can show you how to create strategies now and to save money without penalties and as little government involvement as possible. Because it's you need to rely on, not the government. His new book, The Family Money Farm, the CFO Project, will show you exactly how to build wealth and eliminate debt at the same time. You get your free copy now at cfo-project.com. It's cfo-project.com. cfo-project.com. Invest in yourself and your family today. Get your free copy of The Family Money Farm, the CFO Project, at cfo-project.com. So where is this news story coming from, Alex?
I'm sure you can find it on a number of places, but I found it on Zero Hedge.
Ah, yes, Zero Hedge. Well, they've been having lots of good stories out now since the economy's looking rough and the corona's going everywhere. You always count on those perma bears. Go ahead.
Yeah. So essentially, the WHO is discussing how money changes hands frequently and can pick up all sorts of bacteria. And
it's true.
In this
is the coronavirus a bacteria?
Oh, don't expect the WHO to know.
I would hope. If anybody knows, you would think they would know.
You might think, but you'd be wrong.
This isn't their article that's saying that, right? It's not a quote from their article.
Yeah, this is...
Zero Hedge is saying that.
Yeah.
Okay, thank God. Because, all right, ladies and gentlemen, bacteria and virus are different things. Washing your hands can help you with both, but... Go on.
Yeah, so they want to take away cash, or at least they're aiming in that direction. They'll never just say, we're going to take your cash, just like they'll never say, we're going to take your guns. Beto O'Rourke excluded. And that's what the WHO is doing. They're putting that same message out. This is dangerous. Common sense. Let's reduce the use of this. Does anyone really need cash?
Yeah, they've been telling me
it's 2020.
Cash is dirty for as long as I've been alive. I mean, back in the 70s, they were talking about how cash is dirty. So, and maybe there are a few spread diseases based on cash. I don't know the answer to that, but, I guess I'll take my risks.
Cash is certainly dirty. And if they're really concerned just about the dirtiness, what would their solution be, right? That's the real question. We get rid of cash, what do we use? Is the WHO suggesting we use cryptocurrencies or other free money?
Because cryptocurrency, I doubt very seriously that's what they're doing. But that is one of the possibilities. When you're talking about digital money, that cryptocurrency could be a solution to this. And I'm for that. But
that's as clean as it gets, right?
I'm really for people making their own decisions. And if it takes longer for cryptocurrency to be adopted because people get to make their own decisions, I'm fine with that. I don't trust the marketplace completely. Sometimes they make mistakes. I think of laser discs versus
Blu-ray.
Beta and VHS. No, I'm talking about way back. But Blu-ray was
Blu-ray and HD.
HD TV, yeah.
It's like,
I felt like HD TV was a better brand name than Blu-ray, but for whatever reason, Blu-ray is the one that managed to pull it off. Whatever the case is, I think we have to kind of go with what the market says, and when the cryptos are rolled out, then the right ones bubble to the top. Maybe it's Bitcoin Cash, maybe it's BTC, maybe it's Divi. I don't know. Maybe it's Dash. I don't know which one it's going to be, but I try to look and pay attention. What I can tell you, the worst case scenario is the banking industry and credit cards. These are, a technology that was created in the real world, not for the internet. And trying to shove them into the internet hole is pounding a square peg into a round hole. And that is, it's never positive. This is the reason that the dark net is full of websites where people's stolen credit card numbers are for sale right now. They can't sell access to people's cryptocurrency accounts, but they can certainly sell your credit card numbers.
Yep.
So I guess when the World Health Organization says things like, well, cash is bad, it just sounds to me like the chorus warming up for the government is getting rid of cash song. Remember what they did in India. They eliminated the highest rupee note. And here in the United States, we've had $100 bills since I was a kid and long before that. But the value of things is a tenth of what it was when I was a kid, or close to it. So why don't we have $1,000 notes now?
It's not just India. This has been a worldwide trend, right?
Oh, yeah.
the euro, for those of you who are young like me, you may not know the euro wasn't always the currency of Europe. Each European country used to have their own independent currency, their own central bank.
Right.
And that had its benefits
And
and
the Italians were
its
bad at it back
drawbacks.
then, too.
Yeah, exactly. But in order to create this union, there were a couple big players who needed to be included, specifically Germany. And Germany insisted that if they were to join, there must be a bill equal to their 1,000 franc note. And as a result, they created the 500 euro note. And the European Union, ECB, institutions all said, we're fine, you can keep this note, we're not going to take it away. Because Germans are very skeptical, right? How many times has their currency been debased in the last 100 years?
Well, I think one's enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And thus, they really want to keep this euro note. They don't trust central banks. They don't trust the government to the same degree with protecting their money. Well, what did the EU do at first chance it got? Stop printing the 500 euro note.
Did it really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Their propaganda
There
is...
used to be $1,000 and $500 notes in the U.S., but they were never really widely accepted.
This was extremely widely accepted. There was almost 450 million 500 euro notes in circulation.
Yeah.
And that was too high. They didn't like that. So they've been working to reduce it.
And I think we should have 500, like the $500 and $1,000 U.S. note should obviously be brought back. I mean, people could use that now. The value of a $100 note is a tenth. I'm just, maybe it's an eighth. I don't know, of what it was when I was a young person. And, we don't have any larger amount. Now you just have to carry more cash around. Maybe it's a conspiracy.
Yeah.
I think, frankly, that's the most obvious conspiracy out there is they just don't want people to use cash. They want you to use a card. And, you can't even go buy a car with cash.
Yeah. They look at you funny.
Well, if you try...
Unless you're in the Marianas Islands when their cash is preferred.
Right. Well, they have to
They
do
almost
cash...
wouldn't let me pay any other way.
For a car?
Yeah.
Really? Oh, well, that was when you bought a used car, right?
Yep.
Yeah. I'm thinking about it at a dealer. The cash transaction report should be filled out at $10,000. Now, I wouldn't claim that that's going to occur here in the Mariana Islands. I mean, we're a little lax with paperwork around here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm not going to claim that it's going to happen, nor that it's not going to happen. I haven't gone through this particular process, but if it's clear and obvious that we had the $100 bill and they're just going to inflate the $100 bill into a useless thing. So what's going to happen? So maybe when my son's my age, the $100 bill will be worth what a $10 bill is.
Wow. That would be terrible.
Yeah, everybody will be doing some kind of digital transaction. Now, maybe this comes back and bites them, and cryptocurrency is the thing that's adopted because nobody trusts central government banks, but it's just really impossible
I
to
have
say.
an idea.
What's that?
We can appeal to the ego of President Trump.
Okay.
Who better to go on the $1,000 bill than the first billionaire president?
Well, why doesn't he just create a better cryptocurrency called Trump coin? And then we just we'll use that for the next century.
There's an idea.
That'd be awesome.
Do you have any currency-related ideas?
855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE. It's pretty obvious. Get rid of the penny and the nickel. Add the $1,000 bill. Free Talk Live.
And not to mention the shedding, I would vacuum the carpet 3 times a week. Frodo was scratching all night long, bouncing on the side of the bed, keeping me awake the whole entire night from all the scratching and chewing. It kind of makes you neurotic.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy?
Mounds and mounds of fur all over the place.
Come to Dinovite for help.
DINOVITE.com. If you want the dog to be healthy, you got to feed it something healthy.
Dinovite is nutrition. The omega-3 fatty acids.
Flaxseed, zinc, alfalfa.
Our vitamins and enzymes replace the nutrients cooked out of most commercial dog foods.
He gobbles it up. He's not up all night scratching. His shedding is minimal, and it is such a pleasure to have my calm, relaxed, non-shedding puppy back. And I have to thank Dinovite for that.
Don't let your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy.
Come to Dinovite for help.
859-428-1000.
859-428-1000.
DINOVITE.com.
Are you a cryptocurrency advocate? The Crypto Tip is the ideal outreach tool to help new people discover cryptocurrency. It's a printable business card-sized tip that you can give to service providers, preferably in addition to a good cash tip. When the server scans the QR code, it'll bring up an explanation of cryptocurrency, how to install a wallet, and allow them to claim the tip. If they don't claim the crypto, you get your tip refunded to you after a time period you specify. Plus, if they do claim the tip, you get an email alert. Create as many tips as you want at cryptotip.org. That's cryptotip.org. The LRN.FM's social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 3 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for Liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with the SNLS Network and listeners like you. Online at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,637, silver at $17.23, and Bitcoin is trading around $8,752. Today's gold, silver, and Bitcoin prices are brought to you by Brave Botanicals, high-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven. The Liberty Beat and Brave Botanicals believe so strongly in the power of kratom, we're giving it away for free. Just go to libertybeat.news/free kratom. This is the Liberty Beat at snlsnetwork.com. In the news, airlines have canceled more than 200,000 flights as coronavirus nears pandemic status. Retail outlets at airports across the world have reported a significant drop in foot traffic, resulting in a collapse in sales at duty-free shops. The Wall Street Journal notes a plunge in global travelers, especially ones from China, has led to a steep decline of international tourists at major airports. The result so far has been devastating, said the Moody David report, a travel retail intelligence service provider, who warned the airport retail industry at major Asian hubs had plunged 60 to 70% since the virus outbreak began. Activist Post reports airports in Singapore and Thailand began to offer rent relief in February to retail outlets for the next 6 to 12 months. Officials at Hong Kong's airport provided $205 million in assistance for industries directly or indirectly affected by declining air travel. Ever wonder where we find all the news to report right here on the Liberty Beat? Visit snls.news to get the world's most censored media published all in one place. Save yourself from the endless time spent searching for reliable alternative media. SNLS News makes it quick and easy. No ads, no clickbait, just raw headlines, 24 hours a day. Visit snls.news and get informed today without the corporate media spin. Your news now continues. Airlines have canceled more than 200,000 flights as coronavirus nears pandemic status. Retail outlets at airports across the world have reported a significant drop in foot traffic, resulting in a collapse in sales at duty-free shops. The Wall Street Journal notes a plunge in global travelers, especially ones from China, has led to a steep decline of international tourists at major airports. The result so far has been devastating, said the Moody David report, a travel retail intelligence service provider, who warned the airport retail industry at major Asian hubs had plunged 60 to 70% since the virus outbreak began. Activist Post reports airports in Singapore and Thailand began to offer rent relief in February to retail outlets for the next 6 to 12 months. Officials at Hong Kong's airport provided $205 million in assistance for industries directly or indirectly affected by declining air travel. The U.S. Federal Emergency Management Agency and the Department of Defense are preparing for a possible coronavirus pandemic response. For the past 6 weeks, defense leaders have been meeting to plan for any possible scenario with the virus that first surfaced in China. The Mind Unleashed reports that commanders are taking all necessary precautions because the virus is unique to every situation and every location. FEMA is making preparations amid the possibility that President Donald Trump makes an emergency declaration to bring in extra funds and personnel to assist with the administration's coronavirus response, according to a report from NBC. Documents show that the agency is actively planning to provide disaster relief funding to state and local governments, as well as federal assistance. Support for the Liberty Beat is brought to you by the Homestead Guru. The Homestead Guru is an educational website offering tips, tools, news, stories, and commentary on everything homesteading. Topics include green homes, gardening, animal husbandry, do-it-yourself, home remedies, alternative energy, survivalism, unschooling, and more. Those details are found online at thehomestead.guru. This is the Liberty Beat, powered by the SNLS Network at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
CEO Jeff Potkel went berserk earlier this morning, becoming drenched in his own blood and the blood of several employees as he viciously demanded the staff produce more web video content, or he would, quote, kill them all.
We need more videos! Videos with bands! Random videos! Funny videos! I want a video with a celebrity! I don't give a shit which one! You think this is funny? I'll show you funny!
He threw our office manager's body against the door and then told us that nobody could leave unless we came up with 3 original video ideas. Then he made us watch as he bit his own tongue in half.
People don't want to read! They want videos! They want to sit at work and watch videos! Videos need to go viral! 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 Viral!
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
Call in. Talk about whatever's on your mind. It's Mark with you.
And Alex.
The number, 855-450-3733. That's 855-450. Free as in freedom. Alex, let's go right to the phones. It's Penguin calling in from Virginia. Penguin, you're on Free Talk Live.
Hey, guys. I just wanted to call in. I don't know if you guys have been talking about the bat flu, as I like to call it, or the
COVID-19, the coronavirus.
COVID. Yeah, COVID, actually. COVID is a crow. Yeah. They got on NPR did the same thing, actually. It's funny. But no, it's COVID. It's a word that nobody had ever heard of. I guess unless maybe you have a doctorate in viruses or whatever. But apparently they named these things in weird ways. All the past ones had cool names, like the bird flu and the swine flu. And
SARS, Ebola,
SARS and MERS.
Yeah.
And so I figured, why not? Now they called this one by some kind of technical name. And I said, why not the bat flu? Because apparently there was a supposed to with bats. But
do you think people aren't as scared as they should be? Do you think their people aren't as scared as they should be because the name stinks?
No, I don't know. I think people were pretty panicky about this kind of thing, especially on different places, like on the West Coast. I mean, since we're all American, I don't know if you've seen all the people on social media posting stripped bear Costco's, but it's pretty frightening to see a stripped bear Costco.
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen that stuff. I've seen some news stories about it briefly, but here on the
I don't know how familiar you are.
Marianas, no problems. Nobody's got it. There's no cases. We're just not worried, I guess. Everybody's making jokes about it.
Yeah, it's a chill place. It's the island life,
Yeah, well, it is kind of scary, though, to see. I don't know how familiar you are with Costco. I know they have Costco's up in New Hampshire, but I guess
we've got a Costco here on the Mariana Islands, but it was bought by a local company, so it is kind of it looks like a Costco. The prices are just higher.
Yeah, well, So those things, it's pretty crazy. People are starting to panic, and it's moving from the West Coast, I guess, on the east or something. That might just because people are like driving farther to just panic buy like hand sanitizer and toilet paper, apparently. But that's not what I came to call about.
Well, here, I got a question for you. I'm on the 25th or so. I am headed out from here. Should I cancel my flight through Korea and just take the U.S. or the Saipan to Guam to Honolulu to the mainland and stay in the U.S.? Or do you think I should, go ahead and reroute or what?
I have no idea, but I really don't think there's that many people that have it in Korea. So I know a lot of the people that had it, a good number of the cases that they had in Korea were from kind of death cult.
I hear that might be because Korea just has more tests and can test for it. China's run out of tests, and the United States doesn't seem to bother.
Well, the scariest one is Thailand. Thailand in the first couple of weeks had like maybe 20, 30 cases. Then it just stopped.
No more cases.
And China is one of the
Emperor
most
decrees.
frequent travel places to Thailand, right? If you look at like Wuhan flights, Thailand is number one on the list. But somehow they only had a couple dozen cases.
It's going to be a
dearth
of Taiwanese ladyboys here in the future. Go ahead with what you called about.
So I did call about basically the same topic, but I wanted to say some things like people are wondering how is this different than a normal flu? Because normal flu kills a ton of people, and of course it kills mostly not healthy people, but people with underlying conditions, older people, children, and whatnot. And it's the same thing with the COVID-19 or bat flu, if that's what I call it, of course. The thing that makes this one so deadly, from what I gather, I always look for the one thing, like what is making this thing stand out. And the one thing that they have kind of isolated is the fact that it has a very, very wide range of effects on different people. You can go from being walking and having a little some sniffles, or maybe not even really symptomatic at all, and being walking around and
just a carrier
spreading the virus, or you could be laid up in bed and possibly dying of it, depending on partially your underlying conditions and your age and whatnot, and if you have a suppressed immune system or something or other conditions.
Everybody said that we needed a good plague to thin out the herd, and now that the plague's here, everybody's all scared. Where are you going? Hey, come back! I'm the plague. I'm here to thin out the herd. It's true. It's terrifying, right? There's all these typhoid Marys running around who have the ability to infect without even necessarily knowing that they're ill. It's hard to take yourself seriously as a serious problem if you've got the sniffles. I don't feel that great. When I was going to school I started going to school in 76 and ended in 89, so it gives you some idea. Perfect attendance was really important, and going to school with a cold was common. For me, I got perfect attendance like 7 years or something. I'm sure that's more than most kids. Maybe it was just my family, but that's how we saw it. So, my mother, that good Calvinist background that we've got, you get, if you're not dead, you go to school.
Yep.
And I got to go to work. I can't have you just at the house by yourself. And that's just how it was done. So I don't know.
Now they're shutting down schools all around Asia. Did you hear about that?
Well,
most Chinese schools, Hong Kong schools, the affected cities in Korea and Japan, schools are just shut down, online classes or none at all, which is pretty wild. And they don't talk about that on the news enough. So I don't think people really understand the magnitude of how much it's affected day-to-day life.
Factories are shut down. CO2 emissions from China have decreased. Yeah. It's amazing what's going on.
Yeah, 25% reductions in CO2 in China. Global warming has been solved. Greta, your childhood is back.
Your childhood's back. Now you can be happy.
Yeah.
So that's going to happen. I don't know. It's a strange thing, and people react. I mean, obviously, you don't want some virus that spread across the world. And as far as a pandemic goes, it seems to have, this COVID-19 seems to have some aspects that could possibly make it whatever a pandemic is. But I haven't heard too many cases, at least in the United States, where you can find out about these people a little more easily, where it's not somebody who isn't in some way or another already ill.
Yeah.
Compromised.
Well, it seems...
I haven't heard about any kids.
I imagine more people will be hurt by the economic impact than the actual disease itself. Right? 100,000 or so affected, and maybe 3,000 or so deaths. Compare that to the lost GDP,
in that
right?
same amount of time, what has the flu done?
Far more damage.
And somehow Americans continue to go on with the flu and the amount of people it kills.
Change is scary.
Yeah. I guess that's what it is. It's a new virus with a new name, and every single year we get a new thing that's going to kill you. And, surprise. I don't even know what to say about it. If you're traveling on an airplane, I'd recommend bringing the little Lysol wipes with you. Keep the hand sanitizer handy. That's about all I can say. I mean, increase security a little bit, but that's all you can really do. I wouldn't change my life dramatically over it. Perhaps, I'll bet you jiu-jitsu studios all over America are taking it on the chin. I mean, getting there and sweating with other people, that isn't going to be good.
Yeah.
Hope you're feeling okay. No, but I just had a bat this morning for lunch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My cousin, he was at a karate class, and my uncle, who was his father, was in the waiting room. They're just talking, and parents doing their thing. And one guy's like, "Oh yeah, I just got back from China. Like, it was crazy. They tried to like hold me at the airport and everything." All the parents just ran in and grabbed their kids, like, "We gotta go."
Yeah, well, I suppose they would rather be safe than sorry, and I get it. But, it's got to be tough for certain businesses. Indeed. The number, 855-450-3733. How's your business been affected by all of this? The number, 855-450-3733. Free Talk Live. Don't miss this year's LibertyCon with great speakers like Whole Foods CEO John Mackey, Congressman Justin Amash, and Nobel Prize winner Vernon Smith. Attend 2 spectacular debates. Is government necessary? And does capitalism require government intervention? Network with over 70 pro-liberty organizations. This and a whole lot more. April the 3rd through the 5th in Washington, D.C. Visit LibertyCon.com and use code FTL for a $10 discount on LibertyCon.com.
Gold has definitely been on the move recently, and there is no more secure investment historically. McIlvaney ICA has been helping people take delivery of precious metals and find storage options for decades. They've helped thousands of investors with their precious metal IRAs. Call ICA today for your free portfolio review at 800-525-9556 or download their free report online at ICAGoldSilver.com to learn how you can double your gold and silver ounces even within an IRA. 800-525-9556. ICAGoldSilver.com.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy? Come to Dynavite for help.
Order a 90-day supply of Dynavite.
Dynavite for life.
Pick up 2 tubes of Doggo Suds.
Get the 3rd tube free.
Peppermint, tea tree, lavender, Doggo Sud shampoo.
Made with all-natural coconut, jojoba, aloe. Great for healthy skin and soft, shiny coats.
But no itchy, harsh chemicals.
Lather up, rinse away.
Try Doggo Suds. Buy 2, get 1 free.
At Dynavite.com.
DINOVITE.com.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
Uncovering the secrets and exposing the lies. That's what the readers of freedomsphoenix.com get every day. freedomsphoenix.com, constantly providing the information, the real news about government policies, and the real relationship we all have with the coercive government. The real condition of the economy, innovations in technology, breakthroughs in energy, health, and computer science. Learn the truth well before it's admitted to in the lamestream media. The corporate media, nothing more than distributors of government propaganda, but now there's an alternative. freedomsphoenix.com. Constant news updates on the issues that affect your life in the most important ways. With liberty and property under constant attack, freedomsphoenix.com provides the understanding behind the propaganda, and it encourages the participation of its readers. Go to freedomsphoenix.com. That's freedoms with an S, phoenix.com. freedomsphoenix.com. The revolution between the ears has already happened.
There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and our main feed that includes everything. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
Do you want more businesses accepting Bitcoin Cash and Dash? Now with AnyPay, you earn passive income for every purchase at those businesses. Finally, a financial incentive to spread Bitcoin Cash and Dash. You made it happen, so you get the rewards. Download the AnyPay Cash Register app and add your cryptocurrency wallet addresses. Then install it at a real-life business and tell us what you did at anypayinc.com. anypayinc.com.
You can put the Liberty Radio Network on the air in your area. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how. Broadcast.lrn.fm.
Talk Live. Call in. Talk about whatever's on your mind. It's Mark with you.
And Alex.
855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE. And I am personally looking forward to heading off to LibertyCon. LibertyCon is a convention that's coming up, and it's from the 3rd through the 5th of April. So just around the corner. You got about a month left to plan. And it could potentially be the biggest Liberty event in the nation, right? But we'll see. Maybe it's not. But I got to say, it's got a lot of things lined up nicely. Great speakers, great debates. Let's see. Here's one. Let's see. Is Government Necessary by David Friedman and Timothy Sandifer. It's interesting that I would know who is taking the one side but not the other. Second, does capitalism require government intervention? And that's Gene Epstein, who is the economics editor for Barron's, and he'll debate Stephen Pearlstein of the Washington Post. Epstein will argue against the intervention, and Pearlstein will argue for it. John Mackey of Whole Foods will speak on conscious capitalism. You can be part of LibertyCon. LibertyCon's a unique convention, April the 3rd through the 5th in Washington, D.C., for people who want to network with more than 70 pro-liberty organizations for career advancement, business, or internship opportunities. LibertyCon.com for more details. Get your tickets. They're so inexpensive. LibertyCon.com. Use code word FTL. Code FTL, because it's not a word, right? Code FTL for a $10 discount at libertycon.com. The reason it's such a small discount is because the prices are low. That's like 10%. So, the story that I've got here, this is an interesting one, and I think that people are going to fall on different sides for this. So, from NOLA.com, always interesting news coming out of Louisiana. A Slidell cop heard a man swear at his son. The dad was then arrested. Kevin Mitchell's reprimand of his 4-year-old son included a couple of curse words. And when a Slidell police officer overheard and told Mitchell to mind his language, the officer found himself on the receiving end of a 4-letter barrage. What a surprise. A man that'll cuss at a 4-year-old will also cuss at a police officer.
Yeah.
Their encounter, February the 21st, in the parking lot of the Walmart. Just let that sink in. Neighborhood market. I don't know what a Walmart neighborhood market is. Is that just like a grocery store run by Walmart?
Yeah,
what do you know? You're from Cambridge.
Yeah, those are banned in Cambridge. For real. No joke.
Pontchartrain Drive. And it would lead Mitchell to post videos on social media of him cursing at the cop and later being arrested as he walked out of the store with his family. Mitchell filed a complaint with the Slidell Police Department last week, claiming the police were out of line. Slidell police officials say that based on the facts, they believe the officers acted appropriately. It started when Mitchell's son tried to open the back door of their vehicle in the store's parking lot, which Mitchell feared would bang into the vehicle parked next to them. His verbal reprimand of the child was quick and laced with foul language. I said, "Don't do that, expletive, expletive." Now, does that mean that he called the kid names? Because it's one thing to cuss, right? You can cuss, and it's another thing to call somebody names. I don't know that it particularly matters, but I'm just kind of curious.
What do you mean it's another thing?
I think it's two different things. It's one thing to don't effing do that versus don't do that, mother effer, right? Like in one case, you're belittling a person.
Is that belittling? I don't know. It seems
right.
a 4-year-old getting laid, I think in today's society.
Stupid mamma jamma. All right, how's that?
Okay, that's belittling. It depends on the swear, right?
Yep.
Some swears are more or less belittling. Like maybe he was using it in a positive context.
I get that. I don't get that impression from the article.
Well, there's often misunderstandings with police interactions.
Oh, and indeed there are. But
perhaps this was one of them, right?
It's, as a person who has used foul language in front of my son in the past, and frankly it was done with me too, I got to kind of say that, I don't think it's a good idea. I have an agreement with my son that if he catches me using foul language, that he can, and vice versa. By the way, I did get him one time, and yes, I did collect that $1 from him. But he gets $1 from me every time he catches me using foul language, and I do that mainly because I'm on the radio, and I shouldn't be using foul language anyway. I should not be doing that at all because I could slip. There's one of the most Free Talk Live's most viewed videos is Mark cussing out Ian on Free Talk Live. I got angry at Ian one time and just lit into him, and there's memes about it and the whole thing. So people seem to like it, but. Ian's trying to drop the audio and these kind of things. The thing you see in the video isn't what went out onto the air, onto the real radio, but nonetheless, it was scary.
Yeah,
for Ian, and
it was scary for this police officer too. It seems, right?
Do you think that somebody who cusses at their kid is unqualified to have a child? Is that possible?
That is not a good measurement to tell.
I think everybody's unqualified to have a kid, but it's greater in varying degrees of unqualifiedness.
Yeah, it's a spectrum.
Yes. Hopefully my kid turns out okay. Seem to be doing all right so far. Then again, that's probably what my mother thought at about 12, so who knows. Let's see. But the driver of the other vehicle was Captain Kevin Swan of the Slidell Police Department. Well, of course you don't want your kid banging into a cop car, who was parked in an unmarked vehicle at the store where the crew of Celine Parade, I don't know what that is, would soon pass. Mitchell said Swan told him not to use that kind of language with children around. All right. "Sir, I'm talking to my child. These are my kids," Mitchell said, as Swan told him, "We don't do that in Slidell." Mitchell then took out his phone and videotaped the exchange, which he unleashed additional 4-letter words, including calling the uniformed officer, who was white, the N-word, as he walked with his family into the store. Where does the social justice warrior fall on that one?
Yeah.
What to do as a social justice warrior? This man has called a white man and the N-word. I don't even know what to do with that. When Mitchell and his family came back out of the store, Swan and 2 other officers arrested him on misdemeanor charge of disturbing the peace, handcuffed him, and took him to jail. Now,
that's the worst, disturbing the peace.
Yeah, you've caught me here on one thing that I really hate, which is these catch-all charges that cops use. Because here's the charge, is basically it comes down to contempt of cop.
Yeah.
And I can't really disagree with the police officer in this circumstance. Stepping up and giving your sort of opinion on whether or not
I disagree.
Okay. I don't think parents should be cussing at their kids, especially calling them names.
Right, but there's a lot of things I don't think people should do. Does that mean you should legislate them and use the arm of the state to enforce them?
I'm not.
You should separate the two.
I agree with you, 100%. But is it the fact that he's in uniform that's the problem? Like, what if a little old lady said, "Why are you cussing at that poor child?" I mean, should she be reprimanded in some way? I tend to think not. 855-450-3733. Love to hear your opinions on the topic. 855-450-FREE here on Free Talk Live. The next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to send, earn, spend, and exchange digital money in seconds. Send money around the globe with only a swipe. Instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app and withdraw directly to your bank account. Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with crypto. Multi-tiered masternodes allow everyone to partake in the network. Visit DivvyProject.org. DivvyProject.org.
I want to tell you about my favorite cryptocurrency wallet, Edge Wallet, at edge.app. Edge is the wallet I use more than any other, and that was true long before Edge Wallet became a sponsor of Free Talk Live. Edge Wallet allows you to buy, sell, trade, and securely hold your cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, tokens, Monero, Ripple, Dash, Bitcoin Cash, and more. It's available for both Android and iOS, and you can download it via the Play or App Store or via Edge Wallet's website, edge.app. Secure your freedom with Edge Wallet. Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this, right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it, and once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world, so I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here, and I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, connect with others via the forum at ShireSociety.com. That's ShireSociety.com.
Free speech is protected on the internet, right? Not always. Government agencies try to limit free speech and commerce on the net. Luckily, when they do, the Institute for Justice is there to defend your First Amendment right to free speech. IJ helped set the first federal precedent for internet free speech in 1999. And ever since has worked to prevent unconstitutional roadblocks in cyberspace. Visit our website today at ij.org.
What if you want to hear the latest episode of Free Talk Live, but all you have is your phone, you forgot to download our archive, and you have no data connection? You can call our Listen line at 641-793-0191. That's a long-distance number, so you may incur charges. If not, listen as long as you want. 641-793-0191. The Free Talk Live Listen line, 641-793-0191.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market.
Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. It's physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project Early Movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com.
Help get LRN.FM into more ears. Visit promote.lrn.fm for a free bumper sticker, flyers, banners, graphics, and more. Promote.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Talk Live. We'll take your call. The number, 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE. You can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. It's Mark with you.
And Alex.
Tell you about Divvy. Divvy is one of these cryptocurrencies you've been hearing so much of. They're soon to release their next generation wallet. Just a few taps, you'll be able to spend, earn, store, and exchange digital money in seconds. Divvy says you'll be able to send money around the globe with only a swipe and instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and government money right in the mobile app. You can withdraw directly to your bank account. There's no need to wait, though, as Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with their multi-tiered master nodes, allowing anyone to earn by supporting the Divvy network. Free Talk Live has done that and done reasonably well with it. As a matter of fact, these ads are paid for by our multi-tiered master node, or by the master node itself. When the new Divvy wallet launches, because Divvy's relationship with Western Union, Divvy will be in 200 countries, including the United States. You can learn more at DivvyProject.org. That's Divvy, D-I-V-I, DivvyProject.org. I'm going to go on more with this story about the Louisiana man who cussed out the cop who told him not to cuss at his son. But I got a call on the line here, and I'm going to go to the David calling in from New Mexico. David, you're on Free Talk Live. What's on your mind?
Say, do you suppose that Tulsi wears gabardine?
What is gabardine? I know it's some kind of fabric, right?
Yeah, easier Googled than described.
Okay. I probably won't know once I Google it either.
So I heard you say 10,000 Hong Kong dollars, and I heard you say seeing things disappear from the news cycle, never to be seen again. So let me combine those two. And anybody playing along at home, Sheriff Darren White is who I'm talking about. And if you Google that, he comes right up at the top. In fact, if you Google Sheriff Darren, he's the number one result. He's got a Wikipedia.
Imagine being such a powerful man that all they have to do is call you Sheriff Darren.
Right. And he's now got a radio talk show he has on and off, and now he's got a Monday through Friday 2-hour show in the Albuquerque market. And so I would call in and make my comments and questions until he banned me.
I can only imagine.
Yeah. Until he banned me. And generally what I do when people in the media ban me, instead of talking to them, since they're preventing me from talking to them, I talk about them. So now we're talking about Sheriff Darren White. And so I was the last call that I snuck in, and actually I snuck this in after the ban because his call screener was a noob and didn't know that I was banned. And I got on, and Sheriff Darren had said that his accountant guy had told him earlier in the day that the Hong Kong government was handing out $10,000 a day to citizens so that they can continue to survive during this crisis. And I called in to be helpful and say that, $10,000, all your listeners are going to think they're getting 10,000 U.S. because most Americans don't know there is such a thing as a Hong Kong dollar. And the conversion rate at the moment is 7 to 1, and so it's not 10,000 U.S. that they were handing out. It's about 170 U.S. And it was 10. And then he still, even after when I corrected him, he debated me on it and said no. My expert said it was 10,000 U.S. dollars a day. And anybody who, when you're in third grade and fourth grade and you're doing your math problems, and what does the teacher say? Check your work. Check your work. Well, how do you check your work? Well, the first thing you do is you ask yourself, the first thing you do, nowadays, but the first thing you do is you ask yourself, does that sound like a reasonable answer? So if the problem is 110 times 130, does 1,460,000 sound like a plausible answer? No. And so Sheriff Darren White apparently flunked fourth grade math because he couldn't check his own work, because it does not sound plausible that a government, in this case of Hong Kong,
is giving away
would hand out
$10,000 per day. What about what did he think about you calling in, though? You had been banned at that point, right?
Well, what Sheriff Darren does and what most other people on the radio do other than at Free Talk Live is when you sneak through as a caller whose voice they recognize and whose name they know, they know your band, what they do, like 9 times out of 10, is because they don't want to look bad to their listeners. They will pretend as if you're not a banned caller for that call. You know what I mean? And so you get away with it. So he just ignored it, didn't say anything. Now this back to this ban. This is kind of an off and on ban, and that my first wind of getting banned again for the umpteenth time at KKOB radio by anybody was when I called in prior to that Hong Kong call. I called in the previous time and was told by the non-noob call screener that Sheriff Darren White of Albuquerque, New Mexico, had banned me again because he didn't like. Well, it was after my previous call where I had a disagreement with him, which was entirely within the bounds of talk radio, but I probably hurt Darren White's feelings, and made him look bad, and so he was banning me again. But subsequent to that, I found out that I was actually banned station-wide by one of my moles that I have at KKOB had alerted me that there was an email sent down by Jared Hart, the program manager, the station manager, whatever, banning me entirely from the station. And the reason that Jared was banning me was because somebody had alerted him that there was an article in the University of New Mexico Daily Lobo newspaper about me being charged with stalking and harassment for attempting to call into the public radio station, KUNM, to their call-in program.
I don't think that. Thank you for appreciate the call, David. I don't think that you should be able to call making telephone calls stalking.
Yeah.
I mean, I can see how telephone calls and texts can be part of a stalking campaign, but as far as I think this term's overused, and one of the reasons it's overused is people want to feel important. How can you really be important without a stalker? Right? I mean, think about the Instagram gals out there. And I'm sure there's plenty of them with real live stalkers. But,
yeah,
the ones that the second tier Instagram gals are probably like, I got to get me a stalker. And at least I can tell you that this was true when I was coming up. I don't hear much, anymore. I'm not out there mingling much anymore. But they'll use the term stalker to describe people that are not stalkers. As a matter of fact, I've heard the term stalker used to describe more people than incorrectly than I've heard used correctly. So this term is it's dangerous because when somebody thinks of stalker, they think of somebody who's deadly.
I've noticed that there's been a debasing of the English language overall, right? Stalking, rape, assault, terrorism, threats, like all of these negative words. Nazi, perhaps the greatest debasement of them all, right?
Indeed, if you don't use these terms properly, then they have no value.
They are using them properly. They want an effect, and they're getting it.
Right.
They call David in New Mexico a stalker. Well, now he's getting banned just because there's a news article using this word. That was their goal, right? They want this guy to suffer consequences, and they did. That's why they call people Nazis and a variety of other words.
Right. And I don't agree with David on every issue every time. And sometimes he calls in to disagree with us. But he's a regular caller. And I can see why shows don't want to sound regionalized or whatever by having too few callers. But, hey, if people aren't calling in, they're not calling in. So that's that. The number is 855-450-3733. Your opinion next on Free Talk Live. 855-450-FREE is in Free Talk Live.
This is George Norrie from Coast to Coast AM and History Channel's Ancient Aliens. We support the amazing energy, nutrition, and skincare products from Jeunesse. Jeunesse products are designed by leading doctors in their field with natural ingredients and even stem cell technology. These products help your body perform and look better. Shop Jeunesse at gcnlife.com or call 1-844-443-6637. gcnlife.com or 844-443-6637.
Mortgage rates have dropped 25%, the lowest mortgage rates in years. So maybe you should drop everything and call Zoom Refi. Refinance your home now and slash your mortgage payments. Take cash out and save maybe hundreds of dollars every month. Zoom Refi mortgage rates are super low. Zoom Refi closing costs are super low. And Zoom, we approve you right over the phone, even for no income check loans. Big drop in mortgage rates. Big opportunity for you to save money. Call Zoom Refi today. 888-291-9729. 888-291-9729. Save on mortgage payments. Save on closing costs. Call Zoom Refi. 888-291-9729. Advertising by marketing entity Zoom Refi. Zoom Refi is not a bank or financial company. Calls and other inquiries may be forwarded to third-party lenders who are solely responsible for reviewing, approving, and servicing any loan. Zoom Refi is not affiliated with any state or federal agency and does not provide mortgage advice or help. No income check loans are for investment properties only, and income must be sufficient to service debt.
Join me, George Norrie, in Indian Wells, California, May 29th to June 1st for the Contact in the Desert UFO Conference, an epic weekend of exploration into UFOs, ancient civilizations, crop circles, and so much more. Over 150 lectures, panels, workshops, and events with leading experts: Paul Hellyer, Linda Moulton Howe, Nick Pope, Emery Smith, Stephen Greer, Russell Targ, Doc Wallach, Leslie Kane, and more. Get your tickets at contactinthedesert.com. It's time to make contact. Contactinthedesert.com.
If you're looking for work, it's a process of elimination, and you're trying not to be eliminated. So here's a tip for making the cut, and this might seem subtle, but to the person interviewing you, it's not. There is a world of difference between applicants who convey, "I need a job," and those who simply ooze, "I want to work," especially in these lean times when many you're competing with will seem desperate in "I'll take anything" mode. If you convey specific interest in this job at this company, you will be conspicuous. Thus, the value of going to school on the company you're applying to before the interview. With money and attention so tight now, effective communication skills have never been more important. For more tips for job seekers and everyone else, hit survivalspeech.com. I'm Holland Cook.
Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm. Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
Some of our live shows are streamed in HD on Twitch. Please follow and share at twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
Start live. Call in. Talk about whatever is on your mind. It's Mark with you.
And Alex.
The number is 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE, as in freedom. And if you want to do business with other Liberty lovers, check out Liberty.menu. Liberty.menu was created with Free Talk Live's help to connect our listeners to our other listeners who are doing business, and if you like the idea of doing business, if you're in-group selective in the Liberty movement, well, by God, Liberty.menu is for you. Go check it out. The only requirement for listing your business at Liberty.menu is that you be an adherent to the non-aggression principle. Don't know what the non-aggression principle is? Well, it just means that you should never initiate force against another person. Now, if they use force against you, you can use force back, but that's, hopefully, if nobody ever initiates, you never have force. So there you go. Not that that's ever going to happen. Somebody will always initiate force, so you should be able to defend yourself. 855-450-3733. Continuing this story about Louisiana cop who interjected when a father his son was opening the door. His son's 4 years old, opening the door. Perhaps wasn't as careful, or at least the father was concerned that he wasn't being as careful as he should be. And
so you're saying he's a responsible father looking out for the good of the community?
Well, maybe. He's, whatever. He chastened the kid for either getting the door too close or hitting the undercover cop car next to them. And the cop in that cop car interjected himself into the situation and said something to the effect of not using that kind of language with children around and saying that we don't do that in Slidell. And the gentleman told him to F off. Not quite literally, but really did use an expletive-laden rant against the officer who waited for the gentleman to come back out of Walmart. And then they arrested him for misdemeanor charges of disturbing the peace. And, well, I don't support the notion of cussing at your kids. I must say I have cussed in the presence of my son. But I don't support it. I'm just not going to go on record as saying, okay, I think this is a good idea. I don't know. I wasn't there for the situation. I can't say whether the kid was, psychologically damaged by this or anything. I do think you can say things that can psychologically damage your child. But where do we draw the line? These are these people's children, and that's what he said here. I'm talking to my child. These are my kids, Mitchell said to the officer.
Were there multiple?
Well, it says kids. If he was just talking about one child and said, these are my kids, then maybe we could take him in on a Baker Act for a 3-day psychological hold. I don't know. I presume that there was more than one child, just from the gentleman's statement here. It's not like the article writer is going to give you the clearest picture. So it says... Vandal, says the department will do, this is the chief or whatever, do a full investigation to determine if the officers committed any policy violations. Public Information Officer Daniel, whatever his name, Susano, said that Mitchell could also have been cited for contributing to the delinquency of juveniles, teaching them bad words.
Bad words. So how are you going to know if someone's insulting if you don't know the words?
Just teaching words, right?
Teaching them SAT vocabulary.
I don't know that that wasn't on my SAT tests, I'll tell you that much. As Chief Vandal mentioned, there isn't even a question that this was a good arrest. More than enough probable cause existed, said the bureaucrat here. But Mitchell said that Swan escalated matters. It was a situation that was very small and very petty, and he turned it into from a 5 to a 10 all the way up to 100. And it's his job to diffuse the situation. Sounds like a libertarian. But he threw a match on it and lit it up, Mitchell said. The 29-year-old father of 5 said that he didn't think he did anything wrong. I got to say, by the way, the fact that the father's on site and participating in his 5 children's life, big plus for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, perhaps cussing at the kids all the time, not the great. Isn't the best look.
If you have 5 kids, I mean,
all you've got left is cussing.
Yeah.
You've got no power.
Yeah, you're cussing yourself, you're cussing your kids, you're cussing the world.
Yeah,
right? That's a handful.
You're thoroughly outnumbered at that point.
And he's 29, so he started relatively young.
Right.
For this
the police officer's trying to help him, teach him good fathering techniques.
Should have scared them straight. That's what he should have done if he wanted to help them.
I had to do what I had to do, he said. If my child had hit that other car's door, I'd have been paying the insurance. I didn't know using the word would send me to jail. Using that word. And we still don't know what that word was precisely. His wife, Jordan Mitchell, said that when the family went into the store to shop, Swan came in and watched them. Kevin Mitchell said that he told their oldest child to video them exiting the store because he was expecting something to happen. The Mitchells said Slidell police officers came to the family's home the next day and asked if they'd been flooding the department with phone calls or using an app to make calls from their phone. Seems like they were coming from another number. The Mitchells said they had not. So it looks like he's got some kind of connection to some group or whatever that was making some calls. The Mitchells said officers also suggested that the calls were the result of Mitchells posting their encounters with the police on social media and that the number of the phone calls was interfering with the ability to take emergency calls. Boo-hoo.
Yeah.
First off, in all likelihood, they...
wrongful arrest, I would say.
Well, I mean, you put your telephone number out there, people are going to, whatever. So let's go to Vernon calling in from New Orleans. Vernon, you're on Free Talk Live. What's on your mind?
So they've been talking about this all day on the local radio here in New Orleans, and I just wanted to chime in. I'm surprised y'all are talking. Oh yeah, it's like because everyone thinks it was racist or something. And
is there a race involved here?
Yeah.
The story has no real indication of the race.
That's the Coulter rule.
That people, the locals are, but I just wanted to give you my input. So basically, he got arrested because Louisiana law allows for if you basically make it a scene like that, you can be arrested because you're disturbing the peace of others. And I guess people seem to think that it's okay to be out in public and act like that, just make a big scene and cuss and just not set a good example for others. And so I honestly applaud. Because one, I'm sure that officers thought he was a threat because he called additional backup officers. And yes, he did wait for the gentleman to come out of the store because he was afraid he was going to continue to make a scene, and he did. And so Slidell is in New Orleans, okay? It's the North Shore. And we don't act like that on the North Shore. People act like decent. That's why we don't live in Orleans. That's why we live on the North Shore, because we don't want to be around that kind of trash. If he was to act like that, he could go down to Orleans where they don't care. And you can't act like that.
Yeah, but how does
Everyone
arresting help? So he's acting badly. We can agree he should have used better words. He should have been more articulate. But is arresting gonna help? If you see your father get arrested, is that gonna make your life better or worse?
He's the one that escalated it, though. That's the thing.
Well, I mean, that's a matter of opinion, right? Like the cop escalated, he escalated. It's just what you have here is two bulls in a fight. Is neither one of them wants to back down.
I mean, even on Free Talk Live, you all talk about not taking it above and beyond because you're just going to make them mad, and they're going to arrest you anyways.
Sometimes, yeah.
You all have, yes.
I'm not saying I support this guy. I'm not. I'm just saying that when saying that the gentleman escalated it, I think you can say that somebody you can point escalation on either side.
And I think it's a bad precedent.
I think the cop. Here's what I think. I think the cop did a fine job in saying, hey, I don't think that's proper parenting behavior, and I don't think that properly represents the city of Slidell. And when the gentleman laid into him with an expletive-filled rant, then the gentleman classed himself, right? He said what kind of person he was. And that should have been the end of the story, in my opinion.
Right.
Oh, look, now we know what kind of person we're dealing with here.
I think it wasn't. I think it had to do with just the threat in general. What if the gentleman had a gun and started shooting in inside? We got to be
that's
safe.
A huge
One of the gentlemen
jump.
did have a gun.
What if he did have a gun? And what if he
is
was
that
a-
illegal
what if
in New
he-
Orleans?
I'm sorry?
I don't think it's illegal to have a gun and swear in New Orleans.
I'm not
is
saying
it?
it is or it isn't illegal. I'm just saying that I think he was trying to be overcautious and that he was already being aggressive. And so if he had gone into the store to do a mass shooting or something, I think he was just trying to
That's
be
a
prepared
reach.
for that possibility.
Indeed. Well, he was prepared for the possibility of the gentleman coming out and arresting him because he certainly did that. Thank you for the call, Vernon. Appreciate the call. The number, 855. Well, I'm giving the telephone number and the show's over. Thanks for tuning in. Check out freetalklive.com. Sign up for our newsletter. You'll get all the latest news of Free Talk Live. It's been Mark with you.
And Alex from the U.S. Mariana Islands.
Our history classes start teaching the Constitution around 1776 or even later.
The foundation of our Constitution goes deeper than that. Without examining the context that gave America its principles and its founding documents, we cannot understand the foundation of our liberty and our constitutional republic. Liberty First University teaches online classes in a way that all ages find compelling and understandable, from middle school to law school. Join us at lfu.freetalklive.com to watch the free pre-recorded webinar. Watch now at lfu.freetalklive.com.
Do you want to work from home, get paid, and forward liberty all at the same time? Free Talk Live is looking for account executives and appointment setters. If you've got a phone, a computer, internet connectivity, initiative, and a belief in the non-aggression principle, you're qualified. Earn up to $85,000 a year full-time, $25,000 a year part-time. Set your own hours, work from home, spread freedom. Join our team and work with one of the biggest leaders in the liberty movement. Apply now at sales.freetalklive.com. Sales.freetalklive.com. I'm crazy about My Magic Mud. This is the most important oral care product created this millennium, and I'm not kidding. We all have different opinions on politics and issues, but we all have mouths. And I want yours to be as clean as possible, with teeth as bright as they were meant to be. I will never be without My Magic Mud. It's a little surprising, but man, does it work. If you only listen to one thing I say ever, go to mymagicmud.com and get 20% off with code FTL. mymagicmud.com, code FTL.
So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM.
The latest episode of Declare Your Independence with Ernest Hancock is next after the news on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with the SNLS Network and listeners like you. Online at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,641, silver at $17.23, and Bitcoin is trading around $8,779. Today's gold, silver, and Bitcoin prices are brought to you by Brave Botanicals, high-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven. The Liberty Beat and Brave Botanicals believe so strongly in the power of kratom, we're giving it away for free. Just go to libertybeat.news/freekratom. This is the Liberty Beat at snlsnetwork.com. In the news, Cibola County, New Mexico Sheriff Tony Mace says he and other sheriffs from around the state are meeting with attorneys this week as they get ready to file suit over the state's new red flag law, signed last week by the governor. During the signing ceremony, the governor said that sheriffs who aren't prepared to enforce the new law should resign. But Sheriff Mace and other sheriffs are taking the matter to court instead. Mace said that the sheriffs will be holding meetings with several different attorneys over the next few weeks to discuss litigation strategies before filing suit to block the law from taking effect. Activist Post reports that in addition to the constitutional issues at stake, there's also the pragmatic argument against red flag laws. As Sheriff Mace points out, when someone has been deemed by a court to be a danger to themselves or others, the law gives the individual in question 48 hours to turn over their guns. And of course, once the firearms are seized, the dangerous person is left to their own devices. Ever wonder where we find all the news to report right here on the Liberty Beat? Visit snls.news to get the world's most censored media published all in one place. Save yourself from the endless time spent searching for reliable alternative media. SNLS News makes it quick and easy. No ads, no clickbait, just raw headlines, 24 hours a day. Visit snls.news and get informed today without the corporate media spin. Your news now continues. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis declared a public health emergency this week after 2 people in the state tested positive for coronavirus. One of the sick residents is an adult with no clear link to the countries where the virus is widespread, leading some to believe there are many other cases and carriers in the state that have not yet been tested. The Mind Unleashed reports health officials are also putting contacts of those patients into quarantine as a matter of precaution, because the virus is so contagious. One of the people in quarantine for that reason happens to be a student whose classmates shook hands with Vice President Mike Pence last week. On Friday, just days after being named by Donald Trump as the head of the Outbreak Response Task Force, Pence was at a Sarasota Military Academy in Florida, shaking hands with cadets and posing for photographs. The student, who was at risk, was in quarantine and not at the event with Pence. But a coronavirus patient was mere points of unprotected contact away from the President of the United States. Amazon says it has pulled more than 1 million products for price gouging or for falsely advertising effectiveness against the coronavirus. Activist Post reports the company, in a statement, said that it has always required sellers provide accurate information on product pages and removes those that violates its policies. Amazon said that third-party sellers must follow its fair pricing policy, which states companies can't set a price significantly higher than seen in other places, or sell an item that misleads customers. The removal comes after Wired found sellers gouging the prices of coronavirus-related products, like face masks, or charging people exorbitant shipping costs, according to the magazine. In one instance, the publication found a seller with face masks for as much as 5 times their normal price. Support for the Liberty Beat is brought to you by the Homestead Guru. The Homestead Guru is an educational website offering tips, tools, news, stories, and commentary on everything homesteading. Topics include green homes, gardening, animal husbandry, do-it-yourself, home remedies, alternative energy, survivalism, unschooling, and more. Those details are found online at thehomestead.guru. This is the Liberty Beat, powered by the SNLS Network at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
While waiting to interview for a web consultant position with local marketing firm BizCo, applicant Ryan Ehrlich told Onion reporters he wasn't entirely sure he was dynamic enough for his prospective employer.
When I first saw that the agency was looking for a leader willing to contribute as a valued member of the team, I thought I was the perfect fit. But the more I think about it, the less I'm sure I'm actually an energetic self-starter. I mean, I think I'm a versatile independent thinker, but honestly, how do you even know for sure?
Ehrlich, who found BizCo's online job posting earlier this week, went on to express doubts that he truly possesses the forward-thinking instincts and next-generation idea assets required to work with the fast-paced marketing firm's team of self-starters.
Can I reimagine a brand for a digital landscape? Sure, but do I really have the energy, skills, enthusiasm, and passion to be a part of this dynamic, growth-oriented company? I just don't know. Oh God, who am I kidding? There's no way I'm on the cutting edge.
This is the Onion News Network.
And now, live from the studios of Freedom's Phoenix, Ernest Hancock.
Believe me when I say we have a difficult time ahead of us. But if we are to be prepared for it, we must first shed our fear of it. I stand here without fear because I remember that I am here not because of the path that lies before me, but because of the path that lies behind me. I remember that for 100 years we have fought these machines. And after a century of war, I remember that which matters most. We are still here! Today, let us make them remember. We are not afraid!
Number 15 or so on that chart. Just the steady decline of the empire as it slowly consumes itself. The leftists and lower classes demanding more and more. Median incomes are going up every single year since the Great Recession, but there's a disparity in wages.
Yeah,
rich people are too rich.
Yeah.
That's what they're saying, is rich people are too rich. As though what somebody else is making. You're making more, median household income going up every year. You're making more and more every year. But somebody else is making more every year than you.
From the studios of Freedom's Phoenix, Ernest Hancock.
Believe me when I say we have a difficult time ahead of us. But if we are to be prepared for it, we must first shed our fear of it. I stand here without fear because I remember that I am here not because of the path that lies before me, but because of the path that lies behind me. I remember that for 100 years we have fought these machines. And after a century of war, I remember that which matters most. We are still here! Today, let us make them remember. We are not afraid!
Yep. Unafeared here on Declare Your Independence with me, Ernest Hancock, here in Phoenix, Arizona, from the BEAUT full studios of Freedom's of National Phoenix. All right, so not the best. Maybe by the second hour, I'll get it all pulled together for you. Okay, what we're going to do today in the second hour, we got James Lyons Weiler. James Lyons Weiler is a scientist and research guy and everything. Coronavirus. You want to know about coronavirus? I get all coronavirus. How to prep for coronavirus and what you need to know, including treatment and prepping your home. All right. I'm more concerned about treatment and everything, strong immune system, and it's, oh my God, he's coughing. we're going to find out how serious it is and was it manufactured or not, or I don't know. We'll find out. And then Barry Kerwin. Now, Barry Kerwin, he and his future wife, I think they're getting married this June. We'll talk about that. We met them in Anarchapulco. I don't think they went this year, but the last couple of years, I've met with them. I really like them. And they came to Merca from Ireland. They came to Merca, and we did some shows, and they went visiting around in Sedona and got to Southwest and took a bunch of pictures. Because they do a lot. Every year, they'll go crazy places, all over the world. So, but now that we have Brexit, what's going on there? You know what? Because Ireland, Brexit, coronavirus, United Kingdom. So that'll be interesting. We'll have fun, get caught up with Barry. And Emma. Maybe she might come on too. That'd be cool. So we got James Lyons Weiler and Barry Kerwin to get a little bit of coronavirus in there and get a little bit of Brexit, a little bit. It'd be a good show today. We have this week and next week have some really good shows. I really enjoyed talking to Doug Casey and Destiny. That conversation was not done. We need to do a podcast and he might not want to do it. I don't know. He's like arguing that we need to have some government because you damn libertarians are stupid. And so we'll see. Okay. Show me your stats on how government's good. I got a bunch of stats over here. So, if that's how you want to play it, let's play. So we'll do that. And then, and go. All right, go to Telegram, declare your independence with Ernest Hancock. You want to know where all the guys are and doing their thing. You go into the Telegram chat, whatever it is, group thing, look for declare your independence with Ernest Hancock on Telegram, and they go at it. Now, we're going to be doing a lot of Flote, FLOTE .app, A-P-P, flote.app. And the big thing is they go, you got to go where the crowd is, man. And I go, let me tell you where the crowd's going to be. It's going to be where freedom is. This is my point. Which one is going to, I got to go to mine because it's got, maybe not. Got to go to the library's got some stuff going on. We'll see. We might be working with them too. I think Flote's working with them too. And it's tech. I'm looking at the tech. When I bought, I buy, low if I can, early on or later after it took a dump, and I still got faith in the tech of some, blockchain technology or crypto or something like that. And it's how it always is, tulip bulb mania. They'll call everything blockchain. Blockchain, Johnson & Johnson blockchain, and their stock goes up. It's hilarious. It's like they knew what the algorithm was for the flash trading computers or something, and it's just the way it is. I went through this with the .com bubble. That was one thing. My brother-in-law is a big Moody's guy, and I'm feeling it go. Because when you have pizza restaurants, especially delivery, based on the driver applications, because pizza delivery drivers, think about it. Prime time is what? It's dinner time. And what's going on at dinner? You're not working. You're usually, a lot of people, regular 9-to-5 jobs, they get off, they go straight to pizza driver work, and then they get home 8, 9 o'clock. So it's the perfect second job. And you get good tips. You make at least, $15 to $30 an hour. I mean, it depends how good you are and where you're at. And in certain neighborhoods, you can make bank. You're like going, woo-hoo, I made an extra $100. Easy. And that's, if you look a 3-4 hour shift and you make, $75-$100, you're good. But you got to have a good car, and you got to have insurance, and you got to have a good license. So you're probably not as meth heady as, most of them, So by the time you got a car that can take it and runs and is not, a piece of crap, and you got, a license, you haven't got DUIs and everything, and you got insurance, well, heck, man, you're hired, So when you start getting a lot of applications, something's up. And I remember in the .com thing, I go, man, here we go. And he goes, you're probably right. And it was a paper that he wrote based on a lot of this. And that's what launched him, I think, in his career, because he anticipated it in the .com drop. And what happened, he said there was a friend of his that also is a manager of a truck stop. And he said the truckers are all freaked out because they don't have loads to pick up anymore. They're dropping them off and they don't have something left for me to get, or they're taking half